But Ish, what can't be fleeting?
And then you're letting him lead you. It doesn't matter how you feel.
Saying he's led by God, but you feel like God is not telling y'all that. Do you still follow him?
You said something interesting, Ish. You just said like men don't think the way that women do. So it almost sounds like you don't fully trust their expertise. So how could you successfully be led by
So the
women?
majority of men don't have kids. Y'all are picking wrong. Y'all are literally picking the minority.
Every man that's on this panel, y'all have more kids than all of us women?
51% of black men are single and childless.
Excuses for the statistics. The statistics don't bode well in your favor. So you say things like, okay, are they shooting blanks? Or they
because men, I don't feel like men are overall passive aggressive. The majority of men. Do you think that silence is that passive aggressive? Because we will do that.
Yeah, because there's niggas that'll use that as a way to trigger a woman. Like, because a lot of time a woman will tell you, like, when you're silent, it makes me feel like I'm ignored. So a nigga will do that intentionally.
Yeah, no, I'm just, because I didn't agree with the passive aggressive part until Mary said that. I'm like, okay, I can see men and be like, you know what? I ain't saying nothing else. Will unsubscribing from the Democratic Party help fix Black America?
Let's just unsubscribe. No, you got to know why.
I don't think so.
That's the only thing that get black people together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
Wow.
that.
What I think will fix is if black people truly understood politics.
Because for a guy, because listen, it's so many different reasons for a man to want to hang out with his friends.
Adrian, I'm not gonna let that slide. I heard you. Why do you think that it's older single women who share that opinion?
Sometimes that's the case. There has to be
Explain
balance.
what White History Month is.
It's honoring the achievements of the greatest ethnic group in human history.
Direction, choose your own path.
You know, this is the home of We Major, Me Frosty, Unfamous, and the restricted clothing brands. Let's get it.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention. Stay alert. And remember, choose your own path.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. We got hats. We got sweatshirts. We got jackets. We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention. Stay alert. And remember, choose your own path.
This Might Be Risky sponsorship package is here. Have your ad run on our live streaming episodes, linked in the video description and attached to our many hot take clips. The channel is fast growing with thousands of views and subscribers. Don't miss your chance to grow your business on one of the fastest growing platforms on YouTube. Join the family today. This might be risky. Email us at thismightberisky@gmail.com if interested. Hashtag Indeed, hashtag do the right thing.
Yo, we here. DJ HAMP, the Stampede, we in the building. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I'm excited for this. I got a lot of my favorite people in the building. Salute. Tiff, Tone, what's popping? Perfect. How y'all doing?
Good.
Huh?
You know me in the echo. Okay.
Yeah, you did something. Okay, so you understand technology to know. You showing off. Okay. Okay, you at it. Okay, I got coffee. What you got, man?
Nothing.
Damn. What's good? How y'all feeling though? Tiff and Tony, y'all all right?
We're good.
Indeed. James died. What's poppin'? Oh shit! What'd you say?
Perfect. All right. Good night.
What's up with y'all?
Hey, doing good, man. Got the kids putting in work, man. So just came back from a long day, man. Blessed to be here.
Indeed. Why y'all do them people like that in them comments on that show?
Which show?
Me?
Yeah, both of y'all giving them people. So August, they do content and they was wilding in the comments. They gave the comments the blues.
Yeah, it's probably my wife.
It's always me most of the time.
Nah, it was both of you. I'm gonna get the clip. You know it's on the internet, right? Y'all recorded it.
Yeah. Oh, I know you're talking about. Okay. Yeah.
They deserve every word.
Y'all guilty?
Shit like that. I feel happy after that shit.
That's what's up. UT, what's popping?
What up, people? What up, everybody?
What's good? How you feeling?
I didn't get the memo. Yeah, that's why my wife's not here. I didn't get the memo. So just let y'all know.
Put me on speaker.
Nah, she down.
Yo! Oh.
She downstairs. Okay.
No, all right. Mr. and Mrs. August Moore, what's popping?
What's popping?
Everything's everything?
Yeah, everything good.
I want to make sure. My bad. What'd she say?
This her first time being on camera and stuff, so she kind of, a little shy. So
you shy? So you be all right. Salute. Now we're gonna have a good time, man. It's gonna be a good one for sure. Yeah. Babe, what's good? Perfect. You all right?
Yep.
Hanging in there?
Barely.
Right.
Shit like that. Wow.
Joel, Aaron was good.
Perfect.
Hey, y'all.
Doing well, man. Cruising at a great altitude. Got my co-pilot with me. Life is good. Clear skies ahead, man.
Indeed.
Shit like that.
Yeah, he basically said some pilot shit. He speaks in a lot of like Morse code. He's on the spectrum, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's cute. That's so
but
sweet.
I love him. See, you see, I can talk about him, but because I'm not talking to him, he won't respond.
That was so sweet.
James said, they're looking related. That's what's up, man. I told Master C, man, he should be here shortly, man. But salute, man. But everybody feeling good, man. Salute to the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. You feeling all right, man? We should have a good time, man. We got to get to the root of this. Sophisticated Jerk, what's popping?
What up, buzzing, bird, flipping dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute to Sophisticated Jerk in the building, who must have renewed that membership. Appreciate you, my brother. Big Bad Bull, what's popping? Big Bad Bull, my OG Big Bad Bull in the building. Hopefully I see Big Bad Bull when we get to DC next week, right?
Yeah.
No, Big Bad Bull, he's from out there too. I think he still live out there, like in Montgomery somewhere. Big Bad Bull with the 100 ball says, I'm going to go ahead and fully support this off the rip.
Shit like that.
Tired of hearing from Bamas that perfect failing at relationships.
Wow.
This show right here is more of what the fuck we really need to see. Big Bad Bull, man. Salute to Big Bad Bull, man. I remember he coached me when I first started growing on YouTube. You know, gave me a lot of information, inspiration. One of the best moderators, a great supporter. Salute to Big Bad Bull with the first 100 ball of the day.
Hey, get him, That's what
Yo, even you gotta stand up, bro. You gotta stand up. Stand up.
Hit him. Okay. That's how you do it. That's what I'm talking about. Hurt him. Traveling. This when I'm traveling. Yeah. That's what I'm
Thank you, Big Bad Bull. Rainbow Kid, what's poppin'?
Perfect.
Rainbow Kid, salute my brother. Been a member for 13 months. Salute to the almost 150 people in the building. Make sure we get the likes. Make sure the likes match the viewership. We only have 52 likes. Let's go ahead and make sure the likes match the viewership. Let me say what's up to the real chat real quick, and we get it popping, man. Quincy, what up? Fifi, what up? Clips, what up? Rainbow Kid, once again, salute my G. Mel, you already know. Angel, what's popping? Mr. Villa in the building. Black, what up? Salute to my brother Marcus, what's popping? Direction CYOP.com. Please go get hit Bub and go get the latest merch, man. D was goody. Yaz was popping. Salute, man. Like, share, subscribe. Jones, I see you. Hope everything's everything. Empress in here putting in work. Mrs. Locks putting in work. That's always good. Kurt, what up? Let me see. Like, share, subscribe. Crown Prince, salute. Homeboy, Shalom Ak was popping. Salute, man. Like, share, subscribe. Leslie was good. Excuse me. Let me see. Okay, let me go to, oh shit. I got O'Shea in the building. Salute. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Rebecca, what up? Rashada, what up? Little Rock, what's popping? Salute, man. Hit the like button, please. Melly Mel, I see you. Mr. Williams in the building. Salute, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, man. Salute to E-Dub. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. All D was popping. J Mill was good. Aaron, shalom. Truth in the building was good. My G. Relly was popping. Queen T was good. Dr. G was popping. Free JDC, I see you. D Majesty in the building. TNB, of course, man. All right, I like it, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Taru, salute, my brother. Miss C, of course. Mr. Center of the world, man. What's up, man? Everybody feeling good?
Yeah, man, feeling great, man. Feeling great.
Man, I'm so happy to see y'all, man. Y'all look very, very, how y'all say, beautiful, demure, decent. You know what I mean? Tired, all the good shit. Tone ain't eat, so now I gotta Uber eat some more. And they're gonna bring a horse and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. It's all good. We ain't gonna play. Who gonna listen?
Might eat that too,
So we can't eat horse, bro. Oh my God. All right, let me ask y'all this question, man. Let's just get it popping, man. You know, me and my wife was talking about this. Let me ask y'all, man. If it ended today, would you get married again?
No.
Look at Die Eyes. Die, you already got them. If it ended today, would you get married again, man? Let me know.
Hell no.
No.
Nope.
I would.
I would.
Hell no.
I have a reason
August
why.
said no. Joel, what you said? Aaron said no. My bad. Mrs. August. Sorry, what was your name? Sorry.
Demeter.
Demeter. We met too.
Yeah. I think that I would.
You would? Tiff?
Point of clarification. Are you saying would we marry this? Hey, he having a moment. So are you saying would you marry the same person, or if it didn't work out, would you get remarried? Please clarify, because stickler for details.
Not the same person.
You saying remarried?
Yeah. Would you get married again after y'all?
From him? No.
If Ashton Kutcher bust through this door, I know something too.
First of all, not the wife. No. Nah. This is
I wouldn't.
Can I hold on?
I wouldn't get remarried.
We have to have a. She made a clarifying question for her. She thought that I was answering that I would not remarry her again. And it's like, yes, I would definitely remarry you again, but I would not get remarried again. So
I got to put my hand up. I got a question. I got a statement.
Okay, go ahead.
Right here is where we differ from the lady. Me and my man's heard one thing. The ladies heard something totally different. I heard, would you get married again if this didn't work out? My wife, something happened. Well, no, I would not.
Yes.
Now, would I marry my wife again? Yes, I would.
Yes.
So there it is. So, but ultimately, that's the communication, people. Communication. Key word of the day: communication.
Indeed. So now that we have clarity, what's the answers?
Yes.
Would I get married? No.
For me, yes.
Yes. Tone, what say you?
No.
Die?
Yes.
UT?
No.
Babe, if our shit ended today, would you get married again?
Probably not.
Definitely not. No way in hell, bro. Why you say hell no, Aaron?
The bar is too high, and if it don't work out with her, ain't none of these other motherfuckers gonna put up with me. They don't have it.
You better say.
They ain't got it in them. I'm a piece of work.
Yes. Salute.
Right.
That is a great answer to make everybody happy.
Right.
Yeah, I like the diplomacy in that answer. UT, why you say no?
It's a lot of work that I had to put in to get where I'm at now. And then if I gotta do that shit all over again, it's that's too much. It's too much, bro.
Go ahead. What you say?
He literally said it. The words out my mouth. It's just a lot of work to get where we are. To start all over again to do it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, to know the process and know like what you had to do and how y'all got to learn each other all over again. Hell no, can't do that.
So James said yes. I think somebody got a gun to his head. They off camera. What made you say What made you say yes, James?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I can't be out in these streets like that, man. I'm trying to. I always been like the type that want to settle down, to have a family, get married and stuff. So being out there in them streets, man, I don't think that's a better option than not being married to me personally. And then, like, you know what I mean, I don't want to sin against the Most High, fornicating and all that type of stuff too. It's a lot of stuff, man. I know I can't stay celibate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be trying to sell this shit. You know what I mean?
Sell a bit. You out there selling a bit.
But no, man, that's why I said yes, man. Because you know what I mean, I like the relationship. I like what it brings. I think it makes me a better person too, as well. So
that's why we think to each other, because I got the same answer. Basically, like, I feel protected with him. So if he's not around, then I'm gonna be by myself and not protected. I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. I remember when I was single and I had knives under my bed, under my pillow. Like, I'm just paranoid. So I would have to. I'll try.
Still got damn knives on the damn.
I got it in the room, but I'll try. Like, it is hard. Like what you guys are saying. I'm not saying I want to go through that again, because it took a lot for us to get here. But we talking about, like, if something, drastic was to happen and, like, we're young or something like that. If I'm young, I would. But if I was old, probably not.
What you trying to say? Like old like me? Or
no.
What?
Old like.
Yeah, you old as hell now.
Nah. Old like, like, I don't know, 60. That's old.
Oh, 60 is dumb old. You got what? For men, we got what, 9 more years? Shit, ain't no need that at that point.
Yeah.
A couple vacations, you through. You out of here.
50, 60,
it's over with. Don't trip and fall. It's a wrap.
Rooms at that point, don't even just leave them in the room.
Yeah, you like I Love Lucy at that point. Shit, you got different beds and all that. Now, August. Oh, August over there doing. You smoking weed?
Yeah.
It's all good. I ain't gonna tell nobody else. Now, August, do you recommend marriage to young men?
Yes.
Okay. Why? Because now, is that the sentiment that you mostly hear from men, since we both do content creators?
I don't really hear the sentiment of marriage from men. I'm hearing more don't get married than anything.
What do you think about that sentiment?
I think that I understand why they feel that way, given the climate of the dating market. However, if you're gonna do it, I think you should do it early and young.
Okay, so now on average, people are getting married between 28 and 31.
Yeah,
that's the marriage, the scope of age at which we would be assessing. So for a man that age, are you still giving that recommendation?
I would tread lightly. I would go younger. I would try and find my wife as early as humanly possible, because by then you're more developed. Financially, you might have your foot in financially. And it takes so much time to kind of gel together. So I would recommend earlier.
No, I know 100%. I catch your drift. I'm just saying, on average, Black people specifically are getting married at 31. So now you dealing with men that are that age. What's your recommendation as you advise in that age group?
No, don't do it.
How come?
When you're young, you're not really you still developing. So a lot of times people be setting their ways, and so like your habits and things haven't kind of merged together. Nuances, just little things that you are not used to, that you're gonna be battling over. It's just gonna be a lot to kind of merge those lives together. You even like finances, that type of thing, just the independent ideology all through your 20s has been your worldview, and then now you're in your 30s and you want to merge worlds with somebody who also have a very independent ideology. So I wouldn't suggest it. It just, I think it's like way too late, to be honest.
Is the independent ideology the issue?
Yeah, because instead of thinking for us, you're thinking for me, and so that's kind of hard to break.
Okay, wait. So you're saying both people need to break the independent ideology?
Yeah, because a marriage, you got to merge your life together. You can't, it's not two people living side by side next to each other. And so when you come from an independent ideology, you might get set in that way where it's just two people existing right next to each other.
Okay. So Tone, there's a sentiment that I want to catch your drift on, right? It's saying that women are born with their value, right? Men have to build their value. And women are not checking for men that haven't built their value. So women are waiting at the finish line for men when they get together. And that's why marriages aren't lasting, because women are hypergamous in nature and they was always looking for the next best thing. And that the man can't keep up with that. What you think about that?
I don't agree.
Okay.
That's it.
Why?
I don't agree. I don't agree because
so I'll be damned. That ain't all right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the because part. That's the part I need. Go ahead.
I don't agree because I'm a firm believer in most people are products of their environments. Most of us brought up in environments or situations where, like children, you have kids. Kids gonna do what they see, not what you say. They're gonna recognize how you and the missus are treating each other, doing life together. I believe that's the case right now. There's some women that are brought up, and then somewhere along the line, depending on the family values of what's going on, they're going to become, I hate to say the word delusional, but delusional based on their friend group or what have you. Oh, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to have. Versus, they may go outside the home. They may go through a phase. But I feel it's the same way for both men and women. So ultimately, I don't agree to that particular sentiment, because I feel, depending on the individual, man and or woman, they're going to get to a point, depending on where they are in life. Also, they're going to get to a point to where they're going to make that decision on what they want, what they need, so on and so forth.
Okay. Joel, do you think, because we just talking about marriage, the facets of it, are most of your friends married?
No.
Are they really talking this 666 stuff?
What's that?
6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet.
No. Not
No?
my friends, at least.
Are your friends outliers, you think? Are they like, what you like? Or are they just average women?
I think they're just average women.
I'm
actually the only one out of my friends that's married.
Okay. So have you heard that 666 mantra before?
Yeah.
You think it's a farce, or you think it has merit?
I think it's a preference. I don't know how realistic it is, but it's a preference.
So your friends do talk like that?
No, not my friends, but I've heard it before.
Where you heard it from?
Y'all shows.
So you saying it's an internet thing? You haven't? All right, hold on. Before I ask you, D, what you laughing at? Yeah, that blinking. You're about to get hot. Go ahead. What? What? All right. So, all right, D, go ahead. What you think? Are your friends talking like that?
No, I also think that it's an internet thing.
Is that right?
I don't hear much about the 666 outside of like this space, like YouTube space.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
my
Before
best friend
you,
is almost 6 feet, and she's messing with a guy. He's like 5'9". So, yeah.
okay. All right. Let me. Wait. Are your friends talking like that?
I think it has to do with age. When you're a little younger, I think maybe you're looking for that. But as you get a little bit older, you understand that the pickings are a little bit slimmer. And so with that said, you realize that you can't get all that you want.
That's crazy. You realize she just said that they settling for niggas. They go from 20, right, to 29 and a half. They start to get washed up, and then they start lowering their so-called standards. That's diabolical, James.
Facts. I was hearing it too. Oh my gosh. Yo,
I don't think it's a lowering of standards. I think it's just,
here we go. Now y'all on team. Okay, I get it.
come to Jesus. Like, all right, now, if you don't have children, the biological clock is ticking. You gotta pick somebody at some point. But I don't think it's a settling. It's just
That sounds the same.
I think it's being more realistic than that.
Yo, think about that though, right? Right, James, take this walk with me, right? Think about what
I'm running. I'm running right now. I'm running.
Yo, so she saying what you said, man? Damn, I'm getting old.
You said it's
damn, it's not enough 6 foot niggas. Damn, these niggas ain't making the money that I thought they was gonna make. Damn, them niggas is taking. Oh, yeah, I guess this will do.
Yeah. Damn, that sounds so bad.
That sounds bad.
Yo, I promise you. I told my sister the same thing. When she was in college, she said she wanted a 6'6". She's like 5'2". I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's your issue? And then now she dealing with a dude. I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, like
is your dad tall?
No, he's 5'9". He's the same height as me.
Oh, okay. Now my father is tall, so
but she 5'2" though. Like, why does it matter?
You still what's wrong with liking a tall person?
Because everybody likes a tall person, right? So you're not gonna, if everybody likes this person, you're not gonna have him. They're not gonna want you.
She specifically said 6'4". So like really, like just say somebody taller than you. So if you 5'2",
yes, Lady Di, I hear you in the background. Absolutely.
Yeah. And she went in no type of shape, and I'm like, girl, what type of
you? James.
I'm telling you, I be real with my family, especially my sister. I'm like, how you gonna get this dude? This dude don't want you.
Like, no type of shape is nasty work, son.
I promise you, I love her now, but come on.
Yo, James wilding, but he right. But let me ask you, what do y'all have to say for yourselves?
I think sometimes women go into it with an unrealistic expectation.
Majority of the time or the minority of the time y'all go in delusional? That's what you meant.
Majority of the time we go, as I said, younger age, just the world is your oyster. So you think that you're going to get this like fairy tale, everything on the list. And then you start to realize as time goes on, what is actually important. And it's not necessarily someone being 6 feet, not someone having 6-pack, but like, how are you treating me? Not necessarily. Also, the money part is not necessarily it. It's work ethic. Will they work hard? Those are the things that you start to look at.
You double. Hold on. You double dutching. You not necessarily and all this. What you hopscotching? So the money does and doesn't matter, because that's what necessarily means. It acknowledges both sides of the argument.
No.
So does the money matter? Hold on, Tiff. Does the money matter or not?
I think work ethic matters more than money.
So, Ms. Watson, can we agree that a lot of us grew up with Disney delusion in the way that we were taught that happily ever after? So, yes, are you entering romantic spaces absolutely delusional? Yes, by way of conditioning. It's delusional.
At what age did this delusion begin to evaporate?
50,
30.
30.
UT said it don't evaporate.
It does evaporate.
So, okay, so are we being right? Because we having fun with it, right? So is it just the world actualizing? Like, is that what's happening? Right. So if I try to understand what they saying, James, UT, Tone, Aaron, August, when we start playing sports, right? You think and know you going to the league, right? Whatever league that is, and then you say, "Oh shit, I'm only 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", 5". Oh shit, the linebackers is 250. I'm 200 pounds, and they 6 inches taller. Oh shit, you know what I mean? Steve Nash looked like a shrimp on the court, and he's 6'3", right? You just looking like, so you start to put things in frame. Because I understand, is that a fair analogy, or is that not the same thing?
I think that's fair.
I think that.
Good.
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, I think that. Go ahead, Iceman. You got it.
Appreciate it, Marie. It's a fair analogy. However, when we start, we still have an understanding that which is going to come is what it is. We just have no ability to perceive it because we're not there yet. But we know, temper yourself, son, because there's a pond with fish that the likes you've never seen.
Yeah, no, 100%, Aaron. But I think in the onset, right, you're doing well. You're in little league. I got a shot. And then once you start getting around real competition and start really seeing, then you start to say, okay, what makes sense for me? What's my trajectory?
Oh yeah.
If do you agree that that's what they're articulating?
Yeah, your perception of self will undergo a change both ways.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So August, if it's like, I don't know if you agree yet, but if that's what's happening, that's more palatable to me.
Okay. I think that I'm gonna tell you, I think the nuance of it is that so usually when you come into the realization, like, man, I'm not gonna make it to the league. Look, I don't have the genetics or whatever the case may be. Men typically come to that realization very quickly, whereas women would still have these same expectations and the same thoughts that they can, attract whatever it is that they, want, the 666 guy, and almost feel as though that there is no competition. Like, she's the only competition and she's special, and no matter what it is, that's what's gonna happen. So I think that there's a level. I think that women typically don't make the adjustment until reality sets in and tells them that they have to make the adjustment, because they may not have as many guys trying to talk to them, or they start realizing that they're not getting looked at as much, or they start realizing, like, man, I think my value's gone down a little bit. Let me go ahead and hurry up and jump into something real quick before time run all the way out. So that's what I think it's a little different in the nuance.
I see what you pointing out. Okay. Go ahead, James.
I would say I have to disagree, man. I think on the surface we could, fine, but I think they give so much to these guys. They give them kids. That's 18-year commitment right there, plus more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to. I knew at 18 I wasn't going to the league, or 17. You know what I'm saying? I joined. That's why I was like, all right, I'm not doing the college thing. I'm gonna go to the military. Then I do that later. You know what I'm saying? So they're giving these men 18 years. They're giving their virginity. They're giving them all the love and support. And these guys are breaking their hearts and all that type of stuff. So I think it's a lot more trauma that's going to be built into that compared to me spraining my ankle.
Okay. I see. The residual effects of, because when we delusional, we get the results or the consequences pretty quick when it comes to these sports. Like, when you show up, like, oh shit,
I can't compete. I know I can't.
But by the time the consequence comes for them in terms of this, there's a lot of residual negative effects, which means it costs more.
Yes.
But
Okay.
The consequences for women, they don't think it's consequences. They think they're strong. And I could do it by myself.
Damn.
Type of thing.
Good.
The outlook is different for women.
Oh, damn. So there's more delusion. No, damn.
Do we think that that's because the delta or the distance to the next step in sports is such a quantum leap, but in life for women, the distance to the next step is incremental, relative? You know what I mean? Like, it's not so much of a bludgeoning change. Going from high school to D1 is a smack in the face. graduating high school and that changing your social patterns? Not so much, maybe. You still believe that you can do what you used to do.
I think that there's a level of delusion that plays into it, and then a lot of propaganda on top of that. And so there's enough evidence to determine, like, let's say she did finally get a guy that was 6'6", whatever that means, early on, and that relationship didn't turn out right. I would think that she, an adjustment would have to be made where that's not my speed. I need to, if I want a steady relationship with a man that is going to take me serious, then I'm going to have to make this adjustment and find my speed. But they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again until it's, it's time to jump into something after 30. That's how, that's kind of what I see.
I think a big thing is that my type thing killed him a lot. My type, and your type ain't work for you in the first 3 times you don't had a type. You gotta let it go.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think they always think they type is the way they gotta go. And it never failed until it's like I'm 30 something or 40 something now. It's like, all right, I guess I give UT a chance. I guess I give HAMP a chance, something like that.
Yeah.
Damn. Ladies, what y'all think? It's a broadcast. Y'all don't want to say nothing. Y'all ain't got nothing to say.
Restate the question one more time.
Nope. We've been talking about the question for 15 minutes. When y'all gonna get out of this delusion, man? And then y'all settling for making him the cleanup man.
No, I don't think it takes that. I think once you get to a particular age, and I would say, I hate to say it, but if you're a daddy's girl, when you finally see your father as a person and not necessarily a superhero, you start to connect, like, these people are kind of flawed, because for a long time, every argument that happened in our house, I swear to God, my mama I'm like, it's you. Why you treat my daddy like this? Ooh, my daddy deserved better than this. And then as a very grown woman, I'm like, oh, my mother swallowed a lot of crow, but she never not allowed me to be completely in love with my father. And when you say, what does it take? I think you kind of get out there and knock your head upside the wall, maybe one time on me, 2 times on you. It shouldn't be a third. And you realize, like, oh, I've been very loved. I've been treated very well. And this is not necessarily what's out here. And all of the things that I was warned about, like fat meat, is greasy. It don't take long. It don't. That first one, you're like, it's a fluke. The second one, like, everything my parents said was absolutely right, and then start having kids, your parents become geniuses and mathematical financial wizards.
My wife has a perspective she wanted to share.
Yes, ma'am.
I just think that life like shapes your perspective. So the experiences that you're going through your 20s, like, change your perspective as far as like your ego, in a sense, and how it is that you see yourself and where it is that you fit in the world.
I see. So you learned those lessons are being learned, and now you start to say, okay, I'm bugging. I was right on this, etc. And so I could get with that. You know what I'm saying? You know what Mrs. Watson initially said, I ain't like it that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, ain't enough 6 foot niggas. I guess these 5'10", 5'9" ass niggas gonna make sense now. I'm like, geez, Louise. You know what I'm saying? But through trial and tribulation, things start to formulate. Essentially, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Well,
mine is more like so I realized for me, no matter how tall you are, between the 6'6" and the 5'7", all y'all are normally the same. It's the same heartbreak. Everything you're gonna get is the same. So that stuff goes out the window when it comes to height and all of that. Money to me comes and goes. You could get money with each other, or he could have it already. That stuff don't matter to me. But what really helps for women or for myself, I would say just asking questions to the right people. So if I see an issue, or if I want something, so I wanted marriage, I'll ask the oldest person, like if they like 60, 70 years old, how did y'all stay married so long? And is it a happy one? I would ask a stranger. I'll stop them in the middle of the street. I ain't care because I know that's what I wanted. And I was doing that young. So when I was getting positive responses, I was like, oh, this is a thing. This does work. I know it doesn't work for most people. It didn't work for my parents, but it works for some people. So let me learn this way, and I'm going to learn what not to do from my people. And then from that was just my puzzle. I put it together and then, had to do some work, and then I got married. So.
Okay. I like it. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Lady O, what's popping with the $5 is more of this, less of the He-Man woman haters. Bravo Tech. OG Bravo Tech in the building with a 20 ball says, this is a beautiful group of people.
Shit like that.
Salute to all of y'all. Pound support. OG Bravo Tech in the building, man. Thank you for joining me at the premiere, man. Shad had his movie premiere. Bravo Tech came down there too, man. It was awesome. Salute to Shad. Joel with the 10 says, question for the panel. Did you all build together young, or was everyone already perfectly established, making six figures and whatnot when y'all got together? I'm trying to see something. Our acquisitions came when we were together. Where I was working at the time, I was at that mark, and you was close to that mark, right?
Yeah, I think we had some individually. Like,
no, I'm saying like the salary part.
Oh, yeah, close to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I would say, but most of the assets that have the value, all of the assets that have the value, we obtained together.
I was already built. Rich as hell.
We built together, honestly. Because like she was holding down the house, and because a lot of times, like, you know what I mean, what the woman is doing, a lot of people like just go to work and stuff like that. But if the man is not focused on, you know what I mean, the household is not good, he's not gonna be able to focus on the things he need to focus on. So luckily, my wife sat down for a little bit. She was going to school while we had all our kids and stuff like that. So I was able to make moves and stuff like that. And now, we was able to just kind of flip it and stuff. So we've been together so long. And then now, we can able to get assets. I think a lot of people don't put that time in those relationships in those years, because if you can live by yourself, both of y'all live by yourself, when y'all come together, y'all can just live off that one check. But a lot of people don't think of it like that and then invest with the other one. They just like, oh, I'm just going to live separately, do what I want to do. And then when you get 30, we already got like 9 years on y'all. You know what I'm saying? So because we've been together, and then we've been building while y'all just been playing. That's why we looking at it in our heads. And then now, once y'all get married, we got way more investments, got more houses and different things like that. And then now y'all trying to say we kind of catch up, and you don't like this man playing. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what's going on in society today.
Okay. Anybody else want to respond to this? You don't have to, but I think it's a decent question. Go ahead.
We built together. When we met, we both were very close to six figures, and I moved. So we dated from long distance. I think it's what James said. If you want it to work, it will. If you don't, but finances are so temporal, and it can kind of go up and down. It's like cyclical, especially if you're in a particular industry. We got to the point to where I was able to teach fitness full time, but when COVID hit, it was a wrap. I couldn't work, and it was because of where he was, where it wasn't this, drastic, like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then that's allowed, like, other things have happened that we've been able to work through it, but it can get real sticky. And I think what James is saying is really like sound advice, that if y'all are together and learn to live on one, you always going to be up, because you have a whole nother income that's not being touched. You can invest and do different things with, even if it's just building safety nets.
Yeah, no, definitely leverage, right? For sure. Anybody else want to answer that question specifically?
I want to be straightforward. Let y'all know we built it together. You know, we broke as hell, especially me. Broke.
It was the exact opposite of your first answer.
Exact opposite. I just want to clarify.
Okay. I can dig it. Go ahead, Aaron.
We've known each other forever, and we still building. We trying to get that 7 to stick over the 6. It keeps falling and hitting the ground. We trying to get that 7 to stay up there. So until that 7 gets its act together, we on the build right now. But we old. We've been at this for a while. You know.
Yeah.
I'm old. She's old. I'm old.
We don't age.
I don't age.
Age.
Rock with the $3 super sticker. Salute. Fifi with the $5 says, do you have to put a preference on dating apps? What? Why was that so hard for me to read? Do you have to put a preference on dating? It's a simple like dating apps question mark. That may be where 6'6" comes from.
That does not say 6 foot. That's where 666 comes from.
Oh yeah,
6 figures. 6.
Well, Fifi being cheap. If she would have paid the $10, she could have completed the sentence.
That's awesome.
That's Fifi's fault. Hold on, let me finish windmilling on Fifi. If Fifi would have paid the $10, she could have put more articulation, but she put in dashes and shit. Send me $5, Fifi. Go ahead, UT.
What I was going to say is that, like they were saying earlier, that 666. I only heard it when I started watching Kevin Samuels. I thought the short dudes were getting more women than the tall dudes at the point when I was getting up. So I didn't even see that. That would confuse me. But then I started seeing that women just started saying it a lot. So I was like, okay, I guess that's what they wanted. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I can agree to that. Like, there's a lot of things I'm like, I never thought of that. You know what I mean? Like the basketball player, and I'm not talking shit, but the basketball players always look goofy.
Come on, Ham.
Like they just like I don't know. It's just like I don't know.
Tall basketball player, you mean? Like,
Yeah, like you know, like the nigga who plays center. I'm like, yo, my nigga, come on, son. Aaron with the $2 says 20 to 60. They are damaged out here. Y'all made it out. Joe with the $5 says age has nothing to do with it. Watch Kendra G for an example. Women 22 to 77 are all entrepreneurs asking for the same stuff. T was popping with the £5. Says shout out to the panel. It's so uplifting seeing loving Black married couples sharing their experiences. May the Creator watch over and protect you all. T, salute from across the pond. Joel with the $5 says, so in other words, a man who's less than 6 feet is effectively being settled for 98% of the time. Interesting. Damn, Joel. Aaron with the $2 says, Disney never taught y'all to hustle a nigga money. Son Kid, Shalom. Thomas with the $2 says, Black Love, great show, need more of these. My brother Q Butter in the building. Perfect. Shout out to Q Butter with the $10 says, now that is what Black Power looks like. Salute my G. Q Butter out there grinding, man. I'm gonna make sure I drop his link because you know he got that school out there in New York City, a STEM school with the kids. I think he got like 70 students and he's trying to build it up. I don't even know if he got the new building yet, but I had interviewed him like 4 months ago. And so he funding that building. So I'll make sure we drop the link if y'all want to get involved in that by simply donating. You know, we've been waiting for that school out there in Delaware. That shit ain't come to fruition yet. But Q Butter been running his shit for 6 years. So that lets you know something. Aaron with the $2 says, let Lady Stampede read to God.
Get him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
You're gonna have one friend on Facebook, one less friend on Facebook tonight, Aaron. I'm gonna tell you that. Hit the like button, hit the like button.
I just want to put out there that I can't really relate to this 666 only because when I met him, I was 14 and he was already 6'5". So
I was 15. Let's not.
Hey, she
right?
said that bad.
But still, he's been this height since I met him. So
He's been this height since I met him too.
Right.
Okay, we get it. Aaron 6'5", Tone 6'5". Okay, what else? Fuck. Can they fly?
Yeah.
He
Jesus.
Single
Christ.
entity, yeah.
can.
Matter of fact,
Nigga, you fly too. You remember that time you went and drove for the ball? You were flying in there?
I'm good at it. Hey, so look, all right, let's get into this, man. Traditional roles and values. First thing first, man. Who's in charge? God damn it.
Shit, is that a question? Me, nigga.
That's her. Who in charge?
D, it gotta be audible. You know what I mean? When I upload this to
It's
Apple.
It's him. I do not want to be in charge of anything.
We were great.
Yeah. Who's in charge? Huh?
it'd be the big guy.
Why you said it like that?
Because if the shit hit the fan and it's the apocalypse, I know he gonna build me a house, cook me a meal, and make sure everything is running accordingly. I'm not going to worry about anything.
So, okay, so salute to the answers, right? But there seems to be, whether it's my house, I'm not speaking for y'all houses, and then the sentiments, there's a lot of friction though when it comes about taking these mantles up. So I hear and understand the answers, but how should the input be regarded? How do we take the input? So let's say I'm in charge. What does the input look like? Babe, what do y'all want? Do you want to be included in the hard decisions? Do y'all want to be helped when conveniently? Like, how do we consider y'all input?
I think that we want to be included in life decisions because we're doing this together.
Okay. Now, what happens when we disagree?
Well, we do what you say, and then in my head, if it goes wrong, I just say, I don't say it to you. In my head, I say, I told you so. I told you so. But I won't say that to you.
That's okay. That's
I
fair.
won't do that. I won't say it out loud. And
That's
I just
fair.
say, hey, because whatever the situation is, you're going to deal with you're the one who cleans up the mess anyway. So you can be able to make the decision.
I hear it. But August, she act like I ain't hear the first part. See, because this the thing, right? UT?
There you go.
The I told you so don't come out audibly, but the behavior.
It's all in the body language. It's all in the body language.
All up in
You ain't gotta say it. It's all there.
Bottom lip hanging. These niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
Yep.
Walk around acting like they don't see you and shit. Like, yeah,
I admit though, I always keep it honest. I'm like, yeah, you was right about that one. My bad. I always, bring it full circle. I should listen to you a lot more.
Yeah, and HAMP, and when you right, they don't say nothing about that. They just go in their room and just be chilling. But when you wrong, they don't.
Great decision, man. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
When I'm right, she 100% is quick to give me the salute on that. She says, "You know what? Yeah, you well done, sir. You got that. You thank you. You know what I mean?"
Yeah. I wonder, Aaron, because I think very substantive things, right? Like we went through the hurricane, it was our first hurricane. We from up north, and she was like, damn, like the stuff you did was admire, all the things. We do shit every day. So what I'm wondering is, does the volume of thank yous match the productivity? And should it? Maybe it shouldn't.
I was about to say no, but it should. So I noticed this is recent stuff. Y'all know I just had a baby. Baby's 2 months old tomorrow, right? So there was a day that he was not here for a good half a day. And I noticed that I was missing something because stuff wasn't going right. And I was like, yo, it's been James this whole time basically helping me out a lot with whatever was going on. And when he came back, I told him, because we're very open, and I told him thank you. Not saying I don't say thank you, but I told him thank you that day, and I told him why. And now I kind of make sure I'm noticing, you know, the stuff that he is actually doing. And then I appreciate it more than I ever did. And then I'll tell him more than I ever did, you know, now.
So it would the end you felt the impact, in which case it kind of brought it to fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's okay, right? For that to happen.
Yeah. And sometimes, man, you got to leave the house so they can. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I wonder where gratitude lies for sure, you know? But it seems like okay, so let me ask y'all this. Tone and Tiff, what do you guys think about traditional roles? Right? Because so it's for y'all, but then it's the macro, right? Most couples, everybody's working, right? That's the majority of people, you know? So you can speak anecdotally, but you know, the traditional roles seem to be slightly blurred because everybody's contributing monetarily, you know, almost equally. And I think that that's the key blurring trait, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not a traditional role type of individual because
okay.
You put it out there, but my experience,
sure,
tradition is different for each individual couple, right? I mean, I go what I said in the very beginning, you know, how you came up. You know, I came up in a situation where my mom and dad, both of them worked. Pop was military, mom was a hairdresser, hairdresser. Yeah, she was military also. But then I worked with couples. My overall experience going into adulthood, I've seen situations where, you know, the men have been the breadwinners and vice versa, where women have been breadwinners. Being married, you know, early on, just all depends on what's going on. You know, the wife, she talked about the pandemic happened. Well, the pandemic happened, she wasn't able to work. But fortunately, I have a role where I don't have to. The pandemic didn't affect me. So
yeah,
see why it just really all depends. I mean, I'm always of the mindset, and this is what I tell her all the time. What frustrates me a lot of time nowadays is that people don't understand everyone's situations are different. I mean, you just said it. In most cases, most typical couples do this. Well, I don't look at life as a typical type of deal, but I look at everybody as an individual and what everyone's doing on their own accord.
Yeah, I think you're right. However, I think putting the nuance in it, right, and giving everybody this individuality, you can't solve for anything. Now we can't help each other. I can't advise you if I'm saying your situation is your situation. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because once again, so I use the example of, you know, I have a younger siblings. So I'm tell my siblings, hey, or either young folks I'm talking to from a coaching standpoint, hey, this is what I did in this situation. At the end of the day, I'm going to need you to be well-versed, well-read, figure some things out that's going to work best for you at the end of the day, right? And of course, as young men growing up, I'm going to take it back to the men. When we were coming up, there are a lot of times that people told us stuff or made suggestions that we just didn't listen to because we thought we can do it better, right? But some kids may listen to us. And certain people I listened to, some people I didn't. So I say I don't agree with you because I can give my advice, but I'm never going to tell anybody, hey, you need to do it this way. Based on my experiences, what I would suggest, but at the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do anyway. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that lends itself to the debauchery that we have because we don't have a baseline. There's no accountability with you going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. So as a coach, right, at a high level high school football, you do it the way I say I do it because it's been proven, right? And if you can't do it this way, you have to move on or not play football. And so what happens is when they listen, well, this is the end of it, so you can respond in totality, right? And then when they do what I tell them to do, when they thought they were right, now they go play college football at a high level.
You're right. So that right there is one particular situation. So let's take, we're both football guys, right? So the Patriot way. Okay, you know what? This is how the Patriots do it. But you know what? Green Bay wasn't doing it that way. Or the Cowboys, Dallas, they weren't doing it that way. The Patriots have been uberly successful the past 20 some odd years. Cowboys not so much. So in my mind, what you both situations can be true, but that's the way I think.
No, I got you. I just now when you put the Cowboys, it's associated with failure.
There you go. We failed a lot, and I have no problem in that.
Okay, yeah. I don't like the Cowboys neither, so I'm with you. Okay. What y'all think? What was my initial question? Traditional role.
So, yeah, when you were saying about gratitude, right, and does it match the amount of effort put in? Immediately, I would think no, right, because we think gratitude is something that comes after the fact. In my case, no, that's not it. Even though it doesn't play out in a traditional sense, what I'm saying is the gratitude comes in process.
Okay.
Gratitude comes in her reaction to what I got going on to solve the problem. In her mind, I know she wants to fall apart, right? She does not trust the world, and she is convinced that this is fucked. But her trust in me and the fact that she quiets the dragon in herself so that she can be the best person she can be to support what I got going on is the gratitude. I know that there's work. There's a battle she's fighting with herself to stay in the co-pilot seat as an effective navigator. And when I put her behind the stick and say, listen, I got to go back here, keep this bird in the air, she'll do it with as clear head as possible.
What's the fight?
No, I'm just saying whenever we're faced with a problem or whenever we're faced with something that would require me to exert or go above and beyond, whenever, the challenge is anything.
The one point of clarification, which is interesting point, and I think that it rears its head, especially in modern day. Because you said the fight to stay in the co-pilot seat. What did you mean by that specifically?
No, I'm saying when I put her in the co-pilot seat or the pilot seat, she has a job to do, which was going to require a clear head, and she's fighting to maintain that clear head.
Oh, I see. Okay, I missed.
See what I mean? She's keeping her mission capability pristine at a time where she really naturally would just want to not do that or attack the situation and bludgeon it to death. You know what I mean? Just not operate reasonably. As women, you know what I mean? Like their emotions.
When I say emotion.
Yeah, just right. Exactly. She is good at tempering that shit so that it doesn't bleed over into the mission parameters.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's an internal battle that I'm aware of. And so that to me is a precursory form of gratitude because there's trust and faith that not only my plan A and plan B are effective, but that I'm going to put forth the necessary effort to ensure that they're effective. And that if I ask her to do something, it's necessary to the mission and it's a responsibility that she has that, you know what I mean?
That perspective that you have allows you to stay more positive. You'll see things more positively, generally speaking. Now, I just wonder if that is maintained and sustained, UT, when the bullets really start flying.
I don't think it is. Well, I guess with my situation early on, especially early on in our marriage, like the first year, it was like, for example, say if she playing something, I'll be like, okay, how much it cost? And then, because I'm gonna be the protector, so I'm gonna go along with it. But then if I playing something, I get a million questions. And that always kind of pissed me off because I'm like, why did you just can't follow me on this, So I think it was always, at the beginning, it was kind of like she was fighting because, just like we said earlier, me and her actually got married in our 30s. So she already had a life and she was always independent. Then I'm being the man independent too. So it was kind of a clash that we weren't used to when we moved in together.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you inform one another?
Yeah. Well, like I said, early on, it wasn't like that because we was coming in as Well, I was more as the relationship. She was coming in as the independent woman that wasn't used to having to tell somebody or have to check in with somebody, right? So it was kind of hard for her at first because she was like, she ain't realizing that she's doing something like, I need to know where you at. You my woman, you know. I had to kind of get that in her head a lot of times. So
yeah, she doesn't ask me anything. I overinform. She's like, shut up. I got enough info.
Right.
I'm answering her questions. But I also, where she's strong, I'm weak, and where I'm weak, she's strong. So we already know if there's something that she takes the reins on, I'm giving them to her. Look, what do you need me to do?
Right.
And then when I'm like, hey, I got this, she's like, yeah, I know, because I don't have that shit. And then we just inform each other, we edify each other on as authorities in whatever it is that our opposing strengths and weaknesses are.
Okay. And I had some people picking at me right here because they were saying my wife liked the grill. She liked to get on the grill. I don't like to get on the grill.
There you
and
go.
Then people see her grilling and be like, why you ain't that? I'd be like, she like the grill. Don't get mad at me because she want to grill. That's why I say like when people say traditional stuff, it'd be like, it depends on what you used to doing. But being a man stuff, I'm standing on that 10 toes down. But that's just something she like to do. She like the grill. I don't know.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like that's a traditionally men grill. I see what you're saying. Okay. So so when I'm thinking about traditional, I guess my thing is like the hierarchy.
Mm.
You know, should those things be maintained?
Yes.
Yes.
Do y'all, well, the wives, do y'all still make plates?
Yes.
Yes.
You make plates?
Yes.
You got an answer.
Yes.
It's our first time. She gotta we gonna get her going, August.
It's all good. It is all good. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
She sorted me out on plate making.
My wife's parents were married, so I guess her mother always brought her daddy a plate, and she always bring me a plate. I really don't like that type of stuff. I really ain't never really had no issue with it, but I don't know how the independence, and she still do that. I was confused at that, but I'm like, okay, I take it. Long as I get my plate, I guess.
Is getting your plate made a flex?
Yep.
It should.
Yes.
It feels like it because when you go,
I'm learning now
you go around other people and they don't get there, you be like, okay, yeah.
It used to be an obstacle or a hindrance or an annoyance at best. But like I said, she sorted me out. I've come to discover it is a flex, 100%.
Yeah, it's a flex to whoever's watching. And I say this because I had gave James a plate some time ago at a party, and I was frowned upon, like, or basically people, women or wives were like, dang, you just embarrassed me. Now I got to give my husband a plate. And I'm like, well, like I'm minding my business and you looking at me like I'm crazy. Meanwhile, the men in that house was like, wow, they was looking at me. I didn't know this was happening until afterwards, but they was looking at me like, wow, dang.
I was like, y'all don't get this at home? Like, the fuck?
Right. You talking about all ages. It wasn't just like young and nothing like that. It was between 25 to 50. In that
Today's modern women, they very, independent minded, and even a man is not a need, a man is a option. You know what I'm saying? So to even see that would be like way off the Richter. So yeah, I say for sure.
Damn. So
with the plate making, I was robbing her of the opportunity to express her femininity and to fill her office and role as a wife. I'm OCD. I'm very particular. I'm anal about the, right. We all know I'm on a kind of a spectrum. So to make my plate is a futile endeavor. You're not going to be able to do it right.
Things can't touch.
Yeah. The portion size, where it is, there are easier engineering projects than there are to make my plate, right? And so I'm like, just don't do it. And I'm very used to that. I'd rather you not. So I'm saying it's an annoyance. And she put me on the game. It was like, no. Here's what we really need to be doing. And this is what you're robbing me of. And I said, okay, well, I'm telling you, you're going to have to learn. You're going to get a doctorate and make plate making. And she's like, I'm willing to do that. And she did it quick, fast, and in a hurry. She's like, I'm watching you. And she's like, be honest. If this is not how you like it, then make the correction. Now I realize not only how much of a convenience, but how much of a validation act, right? An act of service. And it really is why I don't have an issue with gratitude, because she now brings that into my life that I was pushing away. You're incapable. You can't do it. You ain't got it. And she's like, yeah, all right, watch this.
And when she
Now
don't
I'm
make
with the
it,
plate
I be
making.
feeling some type of
Make
way.
it plate.
I be
You gotta
like,
make it plate.
if she don't bring me my plate, I be like, whoa, what's going on? You mad? And she might not
Yeah,
even be.
y'all better make that wasn't me. Y'all better make plates.
Yeah. I told y'all the story. I get mad at the kids. I'm like, yo, fuck them kids. They don't know if they hungry or not. I'm hungry. The kids dumb. They 1 year. They don't know. He's just gonna wait. You know what I'm saying? He'd rather play than eat. They'll starve. Like, you know what I'm saying? How do y'all feel making plates? Man, how do you feel?
I mean, I don't think it's, I guess it's just part of the normalcy that you don't even think about it. It's just like, all right, you're not here. Put your plate in the microwave. You have your plate. It's all set for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep going.
What about when we out, like at a place?
Well, I like to ask you, like, hey, I don't like to assume. I know you do like it, but I do kind of say, hey, do you want me to make a plate? I don't know if you're like, oh, I want something specific, things of that nature. So I do ask you, like, or I'm like, last time, I'm like, hey, you want me to make you plate? It's good.
Do you notice if other women don't do it?
I feel like we haven't been somewhere in a while, so it's hard to really
We
say.
just went to that plate. Where we go?
To that house, but that was like, she wasn't married.
Yeah, that shit was boring too, but
she wasn't married, and I don't know what was happening before we got there.
So I noticed, but also I'm from East Texas, so it's just certain things like that you legitimately, thanks, babe. You might get cussed out if you like. That's just like, nah. It just was not a thing. It's not a thing. I've never understood it. I don't get it. And why would you not want to? It's like my thing. Like, you're not being oppressed by fixing somebody's plate. You're not. It's common courtesy. Sometimes it's just the act of reverence of, hey, you know what? I understand you went out here. It can be stressful. Here it is. I'm sure there are times when you fix Mrs. Watson's plate or bring her something too. It's like these rigid, this is that. That's not a thing. It's not.
No, I appreciate. No, you're saying what? But I'm saying, like, it's more of, he'll be like, I appreciate, well, when you do cook, you make sure I get something first, or that there's times where you're like, you know what? You didn't eat yet. Like, go sit down. I'll handle X, Y, and Z so you notice that I haven't eaten, and everybody has. Because that's what happens all the time as women. We're making the kids' plate, then we're making our husband's plate, then you're cleaning up afterwards, and then we do not eat because we're doing all those things. And then he's like, oh, I see that. Sit down, you eat. I'll make sure I clean up or whatever so that you can sit down and eat. So that's what I appreciate.
Making plates. I grew up in a traditional Caribbean household. My grandmother made my grandpa's plate every single night, and it was served on a tray. Like, she would put his drink, his plate, and take it out to him if he didn't want to. If he's watching the news or something and he wasn't at the dining room table with us, his food went out to him on a tray. So that's just what I grew up with. And to take it even a step further, if I'm serving, I mean, it's summertime, there's paper plates. You make your food on a paper plate. He's not getting a paper plate. He's gonna get a real plate. The kids, we can eat on paper plates. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But I'll make sure you got a real plate.
These lackluster motherfuckers eat last. That's the other thing. I don't care. She makes sure I get fed first. Whether or not I do is up to me. Nobody touches shit until she eats. Her plate is next. If it ain't second, it's first, because I'm not eating mine. These lackeys and that four-legged lackey with them, you wait.
Not the
dog. She'll be trying to feed the kids. What the hell are you doing?
Wow.
My boy been waiting to say this shit.
No. My
You
baby
could just make more.
No, we make all the food in the world. We talking about the order of the plate.
No, I'm talking about the lackeys. You could just make more of them.
Right.
Oh,
The
lackeys are
Give me
replaceable.
another one of them. They can't give me another one of these.
Yo, man, the 4-legged lackey we got, this motherfucker is. Oh my!
You want another one?
No, I'm ready to get rid of this one.
No, y'all got rid of the bunny.
The bunny is in the backyard. Okay,
bunny is free.
The bunny is in the backyard right now.
Bunny ass.
The bunny, the neighbor said, "Here's your bunny," and I don't want them calling the pest control people because you know how the white people like to call somebody on the they don't play with the animals. And I was like, "Oh, our crate is somewhere," so then I just put it in the backyard, and then this damn dog.
Yo, man, listen, I seen the bunny at the stop sign. I just said, "What's up?"
That's
fuck that bunny, bro. I just said, "What's up?" So
that dog.
Oh man, I lost my train of thought talking about that bunny.
No, that dog that needs to go.
Damn, I forgot. Let me. I want to know this right here. I want to show y'all this. I want to see what y'all think about this clip. Okay, this is more along the lines of like kind of what we would be talking about, every other day and all that. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Daily salute. Been a member for 10 months. Salute to my brother Daily in the building. Shout out to the panel. I dig this style. This type of togetherness is a goal of mine. He said,
Shit like that.
Put that part with Hamp trying to say prep.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out.
Red Pill Ranger was goody with the $5. Says like a pouting ass kid, laughing my ass off. My wife just conned me out of 3,000 bed one. What? Read it, man. What the hell are you trying to say?
Out of $3,000, bed one of them joints that the head and the foot raises and it massages and all that goofy. Oh, that is it the chair? Because that chair, that massaging chair,
Describing the whole mattress.
The mattress. Oh,
he literally the head and the foot raises, massages, all that. He had to, at the end have to say it was goofy. He's loving that $3,000. He gets to rub with his boo and shake at the same time. That's what's up.
I'll be screaming you ain't shit.
Purchase.
Salute, Red Pill, man. We've been there, man. That's for damn sure, brother. Joel with the $10 says, did the task/chores you did as a single person that might have been considered quote unquote the opposite gender's job just magically cease the second you met your spouse? Trying to see something else.
Mine did.
Yes.
Mine did. I ain't gonna lie. I got spoiled a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. She started cleaning up everything, cooking every damn night. I was like, then when the kids got older, my chores became their chores. I started delegating chores. So now.
Yeah, man. I got minimal chores, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't really. What do I got? What do I have?
Nothing,
bro. I don't do shit. All I do is yell at the kids.
That's what I do. That's exactly what I do.
Yeah. Yo, real shit. So she was at she go like networking event or like let's say Pilates or something, right? And I get the kids from daycare, school, wherever. I feel the impact when because I forget that they gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even think about it. You feel me, August? Because she makes sure they eat. So I forget. Yeah.
They be calling her like, what we calling
Yo, that's James. You know what you think of that? Yeah, the what Lady Guy was saying when you left for the day. Like they just literally they get home. I'm like, damn, yo. One time I gave them oodles and noodles and watermelon and cotton candy.
You got young kids. That's why. I got older kids. I tell them to get how they live. Fine. I'm down to make a sandwich, something.
Fit for themselves, huh?
Yeah, you better than me. I be fasting. I be eating at 12 o'clock. I be like, you gonna eat with me, goddamn? Like,
I make so annoying. They better hope their mama be home or they ain't gonna eat.
Damn. All right, so we doing good then. We all in the same boat. Mom's been a member for 11 months. Says salute to the panel. This show is what gives hope that's worth it to get married. Rep arrange with the $5 says, regardless of who works or makes the most, if a woman love, honor, and respects you as a man, she gonna follow your lead. It ain't worked in 3 years. Oh, I ain't worked in 3 years. Salute, Red Pill Ranger. Be streaming with the $2 says, if you have to buy submission, you have already lost. Red Pill Ranger with the $2 says, women date inmates. You don't need to pay for submission. Jesus Christ. Red Pill Ranger with the $5 says, one of the key features of a good leader is the ability to delegate certain tasks to a subordinate if they better at it than you, but you still the leader. Be streaming with the $2 says, okay, that's enough of my 22 years of wisdom and success. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. My reading, see, I read every day to y'all. Now she's sitting here. Now, you know what, y'all niggas, boy. Okay. Let me show y'all this, man. I just want to get y'all take. I saw this. I just wanted to get y'all take. I haven't even watched it fully. I think maybe I did, but I can't quite remember. So if y'all remember, I interviewed this woman. Her name is Soraya Brooks. She was the one that they kind of skewed her viewpoint a little bit about Black women being problematic. I don't know if y'all remember this. It was
I recall.
You recall? Okay. And so we interviewed her on a Friday, right? Mm-hmm. Her husband is from Philly actually. Aaron. Yep. So y'all remember. Okay. So let me play out this clip. I want to get y'all. Say again.
She's German Turkish. Turkish blood, German raised.
That's her. That's the one that she go to work all day while her husband don't.
Huh? God damn, dude. Okay. Let me get y'all take on this.
Reason why they love having a Black man is in a relationship with a white man, she know who's boss.
So what are you saying, Dr. Umar Johnson?
When a white woman is with a white man, she know who's boss. So if she wants to be a boss, she got to get the Black man. He's the only man she can have where she know she can have her way with him.
But that was kind of rude. So you mean to tell me that he thinks that the average Black man does not have the ability to be the leader in a relationship? See, I come from a Turkish background. In our families, it's the man who has the ultimate say and is the leader of the relationship and the household. So when I met my husband and I had to introduce him to my father, trust and believe me that if he wouldn't have not seen leadership qualities in my husband, he would have never allowed me to marry this man. And even if the man has not learned how to be a leader yet, the woman can always make him feel like he is the leader by being submissive instead of combative. So it is absolutely not true that non-Black women like myself and a whole lot of others choose to be with Black men just because we want to be the boss in a relationship. I highly doubt that. We just simply choose to be with a Black man because that is our preference. And I believe in you can fall in love with whoever you want to fall in love with.
The reason why they love having a Black man is in a relationship.
What y'all think? One thing that's always alleged is that the Black women have the worst conduct.
I think he pandering to Black women. That's what I think.
Umar?
I think, yeah, he's speaking to his base. I think that it's different archetypes of men. Some men are very dominant. Some men are less dominant, more submissive. Some men just, it's just different archetypes of men. If a man is dominant in a relationship, he's going to be dominant. If he's dominant in life, he's going to be dominant in a relationship no matter what type of woman he get with. I don't think that Black men are this weaker vessel like we, so beat down that white women are superior to us in relations. That's ridiculous.
Where do most men lie, though? Because if the majority of men aren't dominant, then they're at a deficit in that relationship in regards to leadership. Right. So where do you put most Black men?
I think most Black men are dominant in their relationship. I think most Black men are dominant in relationship, and because our women feel more of our women than not feel as though they should have their hand on the steering wheel as well in the driver's seat. The marriage rates are indicative of that. So like, because black men are holding back on marriage goes through the man. So black men are holding back on marriage because they're not getting what it is that they need out of marriage, out of a woman. So I think that's a clue of that. So I think that most black men are dominant in their relationship. I think that a man wouldn't even feel like a man if he couldn't be dominant in his relationship. I don't think he can even live like that or live with himself. For most men, some men can, but I don't think most men can.
Okay. So you think that? So what do you think about what Umar's saying?
I think he's just speaking to his base. I think he's doing that dog whistle shit he like to do when it come to trying to accumulate more black women into his little fold and get those black women dollars. I think that he's speaking. He's doing the whole tribalism thing, which is that's his stick, and he's speaking to the women that's gonna watch this and gonna say, yeah, these black men are only with white women because they're weak. That's what I think he's trying to say.
Okay. So now I just wonder, does that reconcile with the sentiment? So what do you think? So if most black men are dominant, then does that by proxy mean that black women's behavior isn't what it's alleged to be?
What do you mean alleged? Alleged as far as what?
Well, like how they have unbecoming behavior, improper conduct, all the stuff.
Yeah, more
right?
than likely, yes. Yeah, more than likely, yes.
So
That's far as a number
propaganda.
Yeah.
You think that's true that they have bad behavior, or is propaganda?
I think that it's true that they have bad behavior. I think that more of our women have bad behavior than less. Is that
okay?
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. But then how are those men? But then we're saying the majority of the men are dominant, but it doesn't seem like we're overcoming the bad behavior because we have so many plights about it.
Well, here's the thing, right? You can't force a woman into submission. She would have to relinquish it and give that to you. And so if submission is being held back and saying, hey, you're just the option, I can do bad all by myself without you, I don't really need you, then marriage is going to be held back. So the deal on the table right now is that I'm an independent woman, and my man or husband or whatever I decide, my partner, that's what they're saying, my partner is an option. This is the deal I'm giving you. Men are like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not gonna marry into something like that. That's why you see our marriage rate so low, because if our women were fitting a part of a wife, then the marriage rates will be indicative that men will be snatching them up. But evidently we're not snatching them up, and marriage rates are low. They're not getting married because they can't get married. They're not getting married because we're not allowing them to get married. That's because marriage goes through the man.
Okay,
that's what I'm
saying. They're not, they exude the negative behavior, and you see that in the lack of marriage because most men are dominant, and that's why they're not getting married, because they're not finding the women that align.
If they were not dominant, you would see marriage rates stay stagnant, because our women are definitely dominant. They really independent. They own a independent woman thing 100%. So the marriage rates would be indicative they stay the same. Men will be like, okay, I'll take this deal. They're not taking that. So it's like, if you're not gonna get it on the program, then you got to dip. We're not gonna do this.
Okay. I
beg your pardon. The troops are in the sack. My wife's getting ready to retire.
Oh yeah. You know what? Yeah.
We're right there with you.
Yeah, she's ready to go sleep.
Good night, everyone.
I'm still dug in, but she's gonna get out.
Yeah, babe.
Okay. We only got a little bit longer left, so.
What?
You finna say something?
Oh, wait, 1 second. HAMP. He's headed out too.
Hey, good chatting with y'all. Have a good evening, peoples.
Tone, be safe, man. I'm gonna hit you, man. We definitely got to get together.
Yes, most definitely, man. I'll come down to Houston, get some sparring in or something, man. That'll be fun.
Yes, sir.
Vegas.
I'll hit you in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Good night, brother.
Good night.
Good night.
I don't forget what I was gonna say now. I'm getting old, man. My mind be.
Man, I can start with because I was thinking about what August was saying.
Real quick. I just want to make sure because UT was trying to go right off, and then you got next.
No, go ahead, James. Because he might refresh my memory. Go ahead, James.
I was gonna say I can agree with what August was saying, but the only thing that's holding me back, like the stumbling block that I got is like a lot of these women be having like 4 or 5 proposals. You know what I'm saying? So some niggas is going. You know what I mean? So I think if a lot of women accepted the men that wanted to marry them, our marriage rates will be a lot higher. Too as well, because a lot of them just say no to like 2 or 3 different guys, and then they just stay on the market till they like 40, and then now they want to, you know what I mean, see if they can get married then, and they can't. You know what I'm saying? Now they some talking about this piss in the pool and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I can agree with what you're saying. That's the only thing I was thinking about when you was talking.
So you think most have
I
been
think they would have get
proposed to?
divorced too more. They would have started getting divorced too, because that's why they left in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Because if the man proposed to her, unless she just said no at the proposal, she was engaged. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time they'd be engaged for a little while, then months before the wedding or something like that, then they calling off the engagement, stuff like that. Because stuff like that happened with me. It was getting to where in one of my ex-girlfriends, we got engaged, and as we went along, I seen something. I'm like, we ain't gonna make it. We ain't gonna make it. And I was trying my best, because I like to be in a relationship. I'm used to this. I'm used to being in a relationship. So I like it, and I wanted to marry the girl at the time. But it was every time we was getting there, it was like a barrier that was just hitting, like, you can't do this, UT. You can't, it ain't gonna work, Man, that's what happened. A lot of times we be thinking that she saying she got engaged, but she ain't telling that the man called it off. She just gonna say that she got engaged.
Go ahead, what is your question?
I forgot.
I think a lot of times it don't even be no real I don't know if I really believe that that most women are just denying proposals. I don't think these women is getting proposed to, honestly, for the most part. I think most of them are just getting ran through.
And I wanted to talk about. Oh, go ahead, James. My bad.
Go, you about to say it? Go ahead.
I'm about to go, Hamp.
Oh, okay. I thought she about to go and say something. Like she talking about I'm about to go with it.
Yeah, that's all right, Jane. We gonna talk behind her back when she leave. That's
exactly.
all.
I'm gonna get on her ass now.
Lady Die on deck. August 1st, man. It's lit.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Take care, Lady Di.
What I was going to say about what Umar said about the man feeling like the white woman is superior over him, or she feeling like that. I've never seen that before. I don't know. They always cater to my cousin. I got a couple of cousins that with white girls, and I've never seen them. They be the most, far as like nice ones. And when I hear them talk about them, they be saying that they nice. I ain't never seen that. Well, we thinking that it's a bad like they doing it like slavery type shit or racist type shit, but I ain't never really seen that.
It's a dog whistle, man. That's what that is. It's just a dog whistle. That's how he get them dollars coming in. I'm for real.
Did you remember your question or no?
No, I don't remember it.
And I like to point this out because I always say this in the chat, but I don't like when we say white women are better than black women, right? But they're not better and they're not worse either. I be seeing a lot of stuff that all the stuff be the same, but we look at it. I think we look at it as a race thing, and we kind of make it, oh well, the black woman can do it to you because you black with her, and the white woman can't because she white. And we like, no, she tried to kill me too.
But why did you?
She tried to do something to me too.
But UT, tonight it's been all kinds of like everybody on here is a black man married to a black woman. Why did you feel the need to even express that? Just out of curiosity.
Well, it was what Umar said. You listened to the video?
I heard it, but look at the example. What he's saying is folly. You are all strong black men married to black women.
Right.
And were we in? Okay.
No, he was saying that the when they go with the white women, that's what he's talking about. So with the black couples, he wasn't talking about us. He was talking about if they married to a white woman.
Difference, and it is a difference because I guarantee you, the 4 or 5 women this year that have unalived their spouses, that one girl was out drinking coffee hours later. That's not the same story if we do something violent to other black men. So no, it's not the same, and we don't need like.
They do. So y'all, I think a lot of times we put our feelings into this instead of just really talking it out. So you don't think that black women unalive black men?
That was not the statement. You said that there is no difference, and there is a difference. And if it was not, or if it was hyperbolic, I find it odd that the 1, 2, 3, 4 black men that are here currently all have black wives.
No, I was talking about what Dr. Umar was talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm not referring to us. I know we got black wives. I'm saying what Dr. Umar said.
Okay.
I'm not saying that any one of y'all gonna unalive somebody. I'm just saying it happens. Just as it happens. So it's not I don't think when we saying a white or black thing, it's a woman thing. And we try to make that a difference. And I heard stories because I at my job, I might work 2 hours. The rest of the time I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm seeing is white women doing the same stuff the black women doing. That's what I be seeing. Either it's a nice black woman and a nice white woman, or the bad black woman and a bad white woman.
So, Tip, are you pushing back at the notion that the behavior is the same?
He literally just said the point: good and bad black or white women. So to like this he got it.
Well, no, I'm trying to understand what you were trying to mine through.
It's okay.
Well, no, it's important to understand. So, like you were saying, because he was saying the black women's conduct is highlighted as though it's so much worse, and he's saying the white women don't act no differently. He said they both act good and bad given the situation or whatever he sees via whatever clip.
I think that's how you're saying it. That yes, I can agree with it. How it was expressed, that's not. It was like, oh, the black and nah. I could be wrong. I perceived it wrong. So thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that. Tip, you got to think about it. Me and you always had we fuss on here, but at the end of the day, you know what me and you at.
Yes,
so
nothing
but so it ain't. I ain't gonna say that about y'all. I know
oh yeah, nah. You and the missus, and I'm not saying from Houston and beyond. And please get your tickets to DC because it's something special and magical. But yeah, nah. Even the fact of we as married couples have met each other's spouses and been able to be respectful. So I get what you're saying. I think I'm just, as a black woman, if I feel like any type of slight is happening, I'm ready to fight because I love other black women. And I know that we make phenomenal wives. Phenomenal.
That was big of you, Tiff.
Thank you, Mr. Aaron.
But I do agree that it's not highlighted when the white women are doing some of these things that are happening, that they are doing some of the same thing maybe that black women are doing. But black women, it's like, oh, somebody, and first of all, it's not a lot of black women that are doing it, but guess what? The very few that are doing it, we're highlighting it and it gets shown over social media, that gets pushed all the time when white women are doing it and it's just not seen. It's not what they get shown is, oh, they're making the plates, as if we're not making the plates. Oh, look at this. They're just behind the scenes when they're pushing, they're nagging, they're also not understanding the cultural differences and using that against our black men. And it's just not highlighted in the social media like that very often because they want to make sure that the black woman is depicted in a certain type of way. They're not saying all the time how we are the ones that are most educated and things of that nature. That's not pushed all the time.
That's because white women. White women come at you 300 miles an hour like a razor blade. Black women come at you 300 miles an hour like a hammer. They both gonna cut through you. But black women are just more expressive. but they both are coming at you at 300 miles an hour, and they're going to go through you. You don't feel the razor blade because it goes through the nerve, real clean. But the damage is potentially worse. The hammer is just painful because you felt it. But that's because black women are more expressive because they have more on their plate to deal with, more trauma. You know what I mean? Like they have to they share issues that we share those issues, right? In America, a white woman can afford to move like a razor blade, but you ain't gonna feel it until tomorrow. Black woman's a hammer.
But here's the thing, right? And I'm with black, I'm down for black women to the day I die. I'm going down with the ship. That's the type of man I am, like, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So when I make these suggestions and I say these things, it's not to create like I'm attacking. We have to take a moment to look at the reality of how things are. And I say that because there's something going wrong. Evidently, like, our marriage rates are in the toilet. Our wealth is being zapped away from us for that specific reason. We are not creating a nuclear family. And there's an old saying, I forgot who said it, but it was like, if white people catch a cold, black people get the flu. And it's the same thing with this feminism. And so when we're thinking about it, these ideologies and these worldviews, I was talking to my mama, and she's like coming into her whole, understanding of how it played a role in all of our upbringings. I'm talking about me and my siblings. There's something that has to be said there that we have to make an adjustment to. And I know we want to sit here and kumbaya about it, but there's work to be done. A lot of it, and so the numbers is speaking to it. And so we have to speak to that thing. White women are still getting married, and the white people they were still retaining their wealth. You know what I mean? They still doing some things that, they go to college and get the ring and all this other stuff. I've been hearing, about that on these podcasts, talking about white women go for two purposes, and our black women didn't understand that you can do it. You can dual. You can get the degree, the education, and get the man and come out on top. So I think that there's something that has to be said there. That's all.
So what needs to be said?
Feminism, the ideology behind feminism, the independent mantra. Most black women are not making plates. Most black women don't want a strong man that is going to tell them what to do. They see it as controlling. I was listening to a lady talk a little earlier. She was saying something like, a fatherless woman a woman who was nurtured by her father and loved by her father, when she comes into contact with a man that tells her what to do, she receives it as nurturing. She receives his admonishment and correction as nurturing. A woman who wasn't, loved by a loving father, she perceives that as controlling. And so what we have here is we have a huge gap of a lot of fatherlessness, me and my wife included. We had to do a lot of work and a lot of understanding about that. I've had to really create a lot of space for us to be able to work on ourselves together, away from everybody. And so the lack of those fathers have an effect on our women. It's a drastic effect. The same with the men, but it's like it shows up differently. So that's what I would start there. I would say that lack of fatherlessness and dealing with the trauma of not having.
And my thing is, I think Hamp just asked that question. He said, like, what you trying to say is like the initial attitude, right? The attitudes are the issue when it comes to these relationships, because a lot of them asking for one thing, but the behavior that they doing is contradicting what they want. So, for example of that is, you say you want a leader, but you just won't get behind me. Get behind me then. Let me lead you. Because that you remember, I think we were talking about that program stuff one time, but I ain't even gonna say it's a program. It's like, because it's people. So we live in a world where I got a job on the Air Force base. That's my job. I can lead you with that job. That has nothing to do with nothing else. I got you, but you gotta let me do it. Don't try to get in front of me. That's all it is. It ain't as simple as that. It ain't nothing hard.
But UT. Well, so UT, but are you saying that there's no disparity in behavior
from
amongst the races?
No, it's not when it come to relationships. I don't think it is.
But what would be so? What August said is interesting. What would be the residual effects of fatherlessness? Because we say that kids that don't have fathers have bad behavior. They overrepresent in the negative stats.
Mhm.
So, do you believe that to be true?
Yes.
So, if there's a huge disparity in fatherlessness for whites, Latinos, Asians, Black people, would that present itself in behavior while dating relationships in the adults?
Yeah. Yes.
But you're saying, but even that being true, the behaviors are still all the same in Western women.
Right.
That don't math.
That's what I'm saying. They all of them to me, and what I've been seeing in these last about 5 years since I've been on the internet like that, I don't see. I see this podcast to this podcast, Black women to white women. It's just the suburban 304s and the in the hood 304s. That's what I see. They just express it in a different way. That's all or the suburban wives or the hood wives or the our culture wives, right?
Classism?
Just
Is
like
that what you're saying? Classism?
I just think it's how
It would
we.
have to be- He's saying hood versus suburban. That's classism. He's talking about classism versus race.
I say hood and trailer park. How about that?
That's poor and poor.
Right. So
Uh, so-
hood and trailer
so
park.
you know,
You know what I'm
so-
saying?
so
That's what I mean. I said
classism.
that wrong. I did say that wrong, Tip. I did say that wrong. So hood
Yeah,
and
but-
trailer park, right? So
Yeah.
it just how it's expressed because like I know August he watched it with the Fresh and Fit. Them white girls was bad, sometimes worse than the Black women. I ain't gonna lie, it was bad. So it's just like, I didn't never see a difference like that.
Well, I mean, that's the internet, but when you think about just the statistics and then the wealth gap, you know what I mean? Like there's a huge dividing gap. So there's something that's happening that you don't see that is more, you know what I mean? Because they're getting married. They're still doing it. Every culture gonna have they degenerates. You know what I'm saying? The only thing with us is that we highlight and exalt our degenerates. We make that the culture. You know what I mean? So that's a problem with that. You know what I mean? They have their culture. Don't get me wrong. They do their thing for sure. They the worst, disgusting. But at the same time, there's something that we're deficient in that is showing up just in how our nuclear families are not forming in the way that they should. And it has to have something to do with the way that we're courting, the way that we're dating, the way that what we're expecting from each other, that type of stuff. And a lot of that comes from the trauma that comes from not having a father. Like a young man not having a father, that put him so far behind in life. How can he show up to be a leader? He gonna have to practice leadership skills in his goddamn 20s. You know what I'm saying? There was no chance for him to be able to even exhibit anything leadership worthy because his father wasn't there to instill that into him. His mama was in survival mode. You know what I mean? So he gonna have to demonstrate leadership all through his 20s, and if he gets the opportunity. And then a woman is gonna have to get behind that.
Well, we'll see. Now, here's one thing, James. Let me know what you think. I know you had your own point, but I wonder. Let's say I'm just understanding the premises, right? What UT said is presenting, right, and the propaganda in front of us, and what Mrs. Watson was saying. Let's say it's propagandized, right, or the women all have the same conduct. Do we then put the negative jacket on the men if that be the case? Are white men, Asian men operating differently, and they're now having more success in terms of nuclear families and things of that nature if all the women have the same conduct?
If there was, yeah, it will be on the men then, but I don't think it's like that, because I think in our culture we don't praise marriage. We don't, when we look at marriage, it's something negative. Like it's always hard. It's always something, you know what I'm saying? Of course it is, you got to put the work in and stuff like that, whatever, right? But we don't show like the good parts of marriage and stuff like that, right? So, and then most of us coming out of single parent household, you're not going to be able to see that. So we're going to have to, since we took on a lot of their culture, that's what UT was speaking on. We took on a lot of their culture because we got our women thinking that a woman don't supposed to work, but when in this country they wasn't working. And then you go in the Bible, women was working. If you had a farm back in the day, you was working on that farm. You know what I mean? So both the man and the woman. If you had a bartering system, that man and that woman was bringing income because they was working together. You know what I mean? To barter to get. So if you go back all ancient time to now, it was only like really one time period where women wasn't working. That was the white woman when they had slaves. You know what I'm saying? So our women took that system of saying, oh, well, you're supposed to pay all the bills. I don't got to do anything. I'm supposed to sit here and just, you know what I mean, and cook and clean and stuff like that because of the white women did it. So I think that's what UT was talking about, more of the cultural. We took on that culture and think that's what it's supposed to be. That's what traditional is supposed to be. But when you was highlighting earlier with the you were talking about the structure. So that's what the traditional aspect was, because in every time you're going to have to present differently in that time period. You know what I mean? Like the people back in the ancient time can't come today and we got computers and all that stuff and thinking they're gonna be the type of men we are. And we can't go back to the farm and think we're gonna be the type of men they were back then. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta come more with a realistic expectation when it comes to what we're talking about in this conversation and stuff.
You mean like as far as like traditionalism when you talk about like marriage roles, or like just what you mean specifically?
Yes. Like because back in ancient times they weren't doing the same type of stuff we was doing. The father was actually picking, you know what I mean, the husband and different things like that, right? So if she didn't much have no say in who she was married to, you know what I mean. Now women have more say, so it's a total different dynamic and stuff like that, and we can't really, you know what I mean,
well, look,
close that off like that.
Well, I would kind of argue and just correct me if I'm wrong, but I would kind of argue that I understand in certain instances you have to adapt to traditional times or adapt to modernization, but I think that especially when it comes to the sanctity of a relationship, the traditional relationship is going to be the strongest in any set of time because it creates the structure for the man to be the man and the woman to be the woman and then be fulfilled in that. But anything when you start, pulling at that thread, then you start getting all this chaos that we're experiencing right now where they're trying to redefine words and it ain't marriage no more, it's my partner and all this other crazy ass shit. And it's like, bro, when you simplify things and you do what predates us that has been working for thousands, hundreds, how old is human history? Like 100,000 years? I don't know. But thousands of years at least. You get, you get what you're supposed to get as far as how, life is supposed to progress. And I think that the ones who stick to that, they're the ones like, they see happiness in their life. They experience heaven on earth. You got your wife, y'all operating y'all roles the way it's supposed to be. You're not being convoluted by the propaganda that's out here that's telling women that they need to be independent and a man is an option, that type of thing. So, that I don't think I'm not trying to disagree, but I don't think that we should be adapting to just everything that is modern. I think that there's a
but that's what I was talking to. So tradition to you is going to be totally different to a woman. So
okay.
That's the issue because we don't have the same definition of tradition. That's why I say I can get with him when he was talking about the hierarchy, right? Because women think traditionally is some totally like they don't supposed to work. What I'm saying? In ancient time, they was working. You know what I mean?
Listen,
before that,
they was.
Hold on, before you respond, what were you trying to say real quick?
Well, I think that's what is missing also is like you're saying traditional and things work. Who says it works? You're saying it works for men. Does it work for the women? I don't think that it works for the women sometimes because I think what happens is the women are getting burnt out and what the traditional roles and trying to keep up with the traditional roles while doing the modernism at the same time, which is working and trying to cook and clean and kids and this and that. And the women get burnt out. And so then you're wondering why divorce rates are happening and things of that nature, because all of a sudden women found this voice that they didn't have the options to be able to live by themselves and do these things. And it happens because we're not changing how we're operating. We don't need to be partners, but we do need to say, hey, this house needs to run successfully. And how can we do that so that we are both able to do that? For example, like the Airbnb, Hampton does certain things, I do other things, but sometimes we may need to tackle it together. But that's based on what works best, whose strength, like Aaron said, oh, she's strong in this area, who's weak in this area. That's what it should be looking at and being more, I would say that's more modernism of seeing what needs to be successful for our house to be able to work successfully for everyone to be okay.
Now you said sometimes women get burnt out. What do you mean by sometimes?
Well, I guess I would say
it's the second shift. It's the second shift phenomenon of where a woman was trying to do
Hold on,
everything.
Tiff. What do you mean by sometimes women get burnt out? So you're saying that they are working and then they're taking care of the household and then they get tired of doing that?
I say it's a burnout. So you are doing it and eventually towards the end, there's nothing else to be able to give because you are doing all of those things. So if we are able to modernize what that looks like for what the house needs and to really play to the strengths versus saying traditional roles, we need to do it this way, that way. But maybe it may look a little different for what that happens so that everybody can be able to do their roles, what we decide the roles to be for our household successfully.
Okay. So do you think that when women are talking about when they gain that disdain or whatever the case is, majority of the time is burnout? Or is it laziness? Or is it an excuse? Which one do you think it is?
From my atmosphere, it's burnout, not laziness.
What's the atmosphere?
From the people that I know that is married, and if they say anything, it's more of burnout, not necessarily laziness at all.
Okay. Go ahead, Tiff. What you want to say?
I was saying what she's talking about is it's called the second shift phenomenon, because before, traditionally, if a woman was a stay-at-home wife, then she would take on all of the quote unquote home responsibilities. However, a lot of times we don't even bring into, most Black women have always had to work, even to the point to where Black women that their husbands were serving in the country of war and they were able to be at home, and the government was like, no, you guys need to be working. So Black women have always worked. So this, oh, you just stay home, cook and clean, that's not a reality for most Black women. And then if that's the case, then we have to talk about what works for our home. Now, someone like Watson and yourself, where if we're both highly educated, we both bring income, we both have different types of things, and we can outsource certain responsibilities. So say we have someone come in and clean once or twice a week, we can afford that. And the home is in a state that my husband is pleased and I'm not stressed out, that's a win. If it's so much as, hey, we do cook prep. There are a lot of different things that I think couples can do that both people feel served, but it doesn't turn into somebody else being exhausted from a role. Because what I do see is there may be women that they are at work, they bring in just as much, but that your house is dirty, so you're not a good woman. The disorganization, a lot of judgment is placed upon a woman that doesn't have good kids or have a clean house or have mannerable children. That is placed typically on a woman's, like on the foot.
You know what?
Go ahead.
You know what interests me about what you said, Tiff? Maybe you can reconcile this. So if the women were always worked and had second shift, but we had more marriages and things of that nature, were those women of yesteryear just better women? Were they tougher, stronger women? Because it seems like they did, because you said they always work. So I guess what's the difference? Is the difference options?
That part. It's not a difference. It's at this point because of the way that some of the laws work. You are not necessarily financially dependent to be on someone else. But also I wonder if a lot of people don't see the benefit in tradition. I would hope that tonight they saw it and saw couples and just seeing how you can be a better person in community, and definitely with a husband or wife, and how you can as a person develop and grow. I would hope that that's the message, but I think a lot of times we get something that's different. I mean, what Boosie say, INDE, you know what that mean, man? She got her own. Like, we've been hearing this loop of independence for a very long time, and I promise you, Boosie was before Beyonce in Can You Pay My Bills? So the independence type of thing, like, we gotta hash it out. I see James is agreeing. I see. Go ahead, Unpopular Truth, because you finna say something crazy. Go
Well,
ahead.
I'm just talking about, you said, I was just thinking about the Boosie and Beyonce thing. I don't.
But you get what I'm saying? You know Boosie.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing with that. When we say traditional, we immediately go to, you know, a woman not working and being a stay-at-home wife and all that other crap. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tradition in the institution of marriage. So the man has to be in charge. He has to be the leader. And so when we start pulling at the fabric and start renaming things, like I said, partner, you know what I mean? I hate that word. I really hate that word. So we start pulling at that fabric and renaming things to partner, and we have to, you know, define what a man is. And, you know, of course, if a man and a woman create an institution together, they're going to adapt that institution to the times that are modern. And I'll give you an example. Because women decided to join the workforce, it doubled. So the cost of living goes up, the pay stays the same, stagnates. So we need two incomes in order for us to survive today. That's just reality. That's what it is. So of course you're going to have to make some necessary changes in order to account for that. But what I'm talking about in traditionalism, I'm talking about the traditional idea that the man is the head of his family and that our women are supposed to submit. Our women have a hard time. I'm speaking to just our women because that's what I mostly care about. I really don't care about white women or any other demographic at all. Our women have this ideology of being independent. They want to be they think that their hand is supposed to be on the steering wheel with the man, and it's not. I'm driving the car, sit in the passenger seat and chill and do what I tell you to do, please, so that we can move forward as a unit and gain this wealth like we're supposed to. That's what I'm speaking to. They automatically go to that, oh, stay at home. That's not what I'm talking about. And those women that would stay at home, they worked. They put in the work. They probably had a little side hustle where they were selling some plasticware or food or whatever they was doing. They was doing something though, and they was keeping that house top tier.
And like they said,
the Tupperware, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, door-to-door salesman and all that other stuff. They was doing all that stuff.
Mary
like
Kay.
they be saying about us men, they be saying that we be having these talking points, but that you a leader thing is a talking point, because if it wasn't a talking point for the women, you would know that in order for me to be a leader, you gotta be a follower. But you never hear that.
But following is a choice. That's what I'm trying to say. The following is a choice. If you're not willing to submit, I can't lead you. Like if you don't give me the submission that I need, that's required for me to lead you, I can't do it. Our relationship is going to stagnate. We're not going to get married. We're not going to be able to move forward. But that's the issue that we're having. That's what we're battling right now.
So here's the thing, right? They might put a little bit of a chink in it. Aaron, you can get in. If it's a side hustle, that doesn't have the same demands as an actual job that contributes, you know, upwards of 50% and things of that nature. So if the women of yesteryear worked, right, to contribute to the household and still were able to maintain, that makes me question burnout. If it was, in fact, maybe something lesser than like a hustle or something just to contribute in yesteryear, then I can see how they can maintain quote unquote second shift. And in which case, burnout would make sense today. So I need to understand which one was it. Like it was like a little thing just to contribute and take care of the house, then that makes sense that they didn't get burnt out. But if it was similar today, like a 9-to-5 hustling and bustling, then burnout at that juncture would make sense to me. So which one is it?
Are we talking about white women or are we talking about black women? Because black women work, they was working. Ain't no 9-to-5, ain't no housewife for the most part. Most black women was working back in the day. They had jobs too.
Why do we differentiate between white and black as if the majority
Because of the wealth.
white,
The wealth.
No, stop right
I'm
there.
Go ahead.
Yes, white people own most of the wealth, but most white people weren't wealthy. White women in the middle and lower class were absolutely working. First of all, you got to understand that the quality of life and the assistance that you had to handle day-to-day tasks in the past, they didn't exist then like we do now. Have you ever washed clothes in the 1890s? There was not.
It was harder.
It was not an
Yeah.
agitator. You know what I mean? A front loader. That didn't exist. You know what I mean?
Hand wash.
Furthermore, where do you think the water came from that goes to this front loader washer? It wasn't piped in most of the time. It was a well, and a woman's not carrying 75-gallon tank. She's carrying a 5-gallon bucket in each hand at a time. So how many trips to that pump does she have to make? Right? There's an outhouse. You know what I mean? Like the infrastructure of the home was
how
different.
far are we talking back? Because because we're jumping timelines.
Pre World War II, right? Because even in World War II, the men were over there getting shot. So the women were working in factories supporting the war effort, which relatively speaking is still working at home because the men, the scale of work has shifted upwards. The women were now in the men's position in factories because the men were overseas dying. So anything at World War II and back, the concept remains the same. It's just the quality of life changes for the worse, which requires you to do more work to maintain daily life. Only the wealthiest of people, even people like middle-class farmers, they had slaves, like 2. Because it's all they could afford, and they're going to have both of them out in the field helping dad and that ox over there pull this plow around. They couldn't afford 2 mammies or 3 mammies to work the morning shift, the night shift, the afternoon shift with these dozen kids. You know why they had so many kids? Because they were employees.
Well, here's the thing, though.
How did these employees become trained from infants? Women were tracking these jokers. You know what I mean? Like white women were working.
What I'm speaking to is this, though. There were a period, and I agree, white women were working, but there was a period of time where one income can support our entire family. You know, you'll have a college fund. Yeah, like the 1950s. Yeah, that's
one decade, and it's post-industrial revolution.
Right. So here's we have a workforce that is now double because women are now entering the workforce. So that's what I'm speaking to. Now, prior to, we could survive off of one income, but women did other things. And it's specific to the demographic because the wealth distribution makes a difference because I'm talking about the majority. I'm not talking about every wealthy or every white person. They had a huge wealth gap ahead of us, especially post Reconstruction. Our women have always worked. From slavery.
The wealth gap was at the top. What I'm saying is most white folks had no money either. It's just that where the money was so concentrated at the top, and it was exclusively white folks, and it was so far from from our top, that's where the gap was. But it wasn't like 90% of white folks were 3 rungs up on the ladder of wealth from 90% of the black folks. No. Most of the people were 1 rung up. It's just that the top of the white class was 10 rungs above everybody.
If that's the case, then that would be the same thing today.
Right, exactly. It's always been.
It's not though.
How many billionaires versus how many middle class people?
I understand what you're saying. I know that those billionaires are going to drag that wealth estimate up. But what I'm saying is that most white people, if you look at the statistics of the average amount that white people make, is always considerably more than black people, our demographic. And the gap is growing now because we have destroyed our nuclear family. And it's always been like that. There's always been that wealth gap between these demographics.
But it's
because of a number of things. No, it is because it changes the quality of life. So what you can afford, like now you can afford, some people can afford to hire help, like you was describing before. Most black people, but right. Yeah, that's what you were just. Yeah, I did. I qualified. That's what you said.
No, it's not. No. I said most. I said most white folks were broke. I didn't say some. If 7 out of 10 white women in the middle and lower classes were working,
You
If
said that
7 out of-
you said some white people.
No, I said most white folks were broke.
But you were
And
saying that
middle and lower class. Most white folks were in the middle or lower class. Been saying that all
but
along.
you've been saying that white people, you're saying that some white people are accumulating most of the wealth at the top, is what you're saying.
I said the minority of white people have majority of the wealth at the top, but that does not create a paradigm shift that's such a quantum leap between white people and black people in the middle and lower class. The divide isn't as big as the divide isn't big enough to make the conversation that different, where we can look to white people and say, well, you people in the most of your people in the history, your women weren't working, but ours were. No, your women were working too. It was just 7 out of 10 versus our 9 out of 10.
That's what I was saying.
But
That's exactly what I was saying.
Working. So nobody had this majority of their particular community ever experienced where most white women didn't work. Most women didn't work. Most women across the board worked.
I agree. So what we were arguing, she was saying something about what was it called? The after the night shift. You said something.
Burnout.
We talking about burnout. Sex and burnout.
Burnout.
Second shift.
Yeah.
The question
and Hamp was arguing that he was saying that he's saying that people, the argument was because when we were having a discussion was stay-at-home wives. And I was saying that white women always work, but black women specifically always work because we had a lower wealth gap. That's what I was saying. And you're arguing, I don't know what you're arguing, but that's
what I'm arguing is I don't associate work with income. Work is work, and that's what contributes to burnout. When you work in the house, even if you're not working, if the fruit of your labor does not produce monetary income, you can still be susceptible to burnout. And that's what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
The women were at home doing work that wasn't producing income, but it was still work. My question then is, if that's the case, if that was enough to burn you out, why now is the solution for that into modernism to introduce women into the workforce? What that's doing is either putting more on their plate or allowing them to shirk their responsibility at home for a greater responsibility. And
I got a question.
Income. It is counterintuitive.
When you say that the solution, why would the solution be entering women into the workforce? You're saying is as if man caused women to enter the workforce. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. No.
I was just trying to qualify because the point that I was trying to make is that women fought to get in the workforce. They wanted their independence.
Then that's where the question's aimed at. Why is that an acceptable solution to your issue of being burnt out? Why take on either more responsibility or shirk one responsibility for a greater responsibility to solve your issue of burnout?
I don't think
it was because of what they've been taught. They've been taught to try to separate themselves from us.
Well, no, but what it is, it's this pursuit. No, you're right, but it's the pursuit of something that never existed, and that's the idea that you can amass enough wealth to the point where you don't have to do anything. And what I'm saying is, no one has lived that except the people at the top.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. We when we talk about it, when we talk about the wealth, we make it seem like the people the rich people are normal.
Right.
And
that's exactly
what we done did in society. We make it seem like the rich people are normal and that's what everybody can do. But that's not how it never worked like that.
Precisely.
And I don't know how we got to that point where we thinking that you gotta be $80,000 to $70,000 person to be somebody. Instead of saying being a good person and maintain what you got and don't try to live with keep up with the Joneses. That's what happened. The women went into the workforce trying to keep up with the damn Joneses, and you can't keep up with them because you ain't got it. That's the only thing it is. You gotta know where you at. But just like we were saying earlier, the fairy tale thing, and us as men, we buy into it too because we gonna try to go get a more high paid job to get that. So now we putting more pressure on the next generation. Because back in the day, because a lot of context be left out from back in the day. That just like what you were saying earlier, August. Yes, they could. Yeah, your granddaddy paid for everything, but everything was $60. So when it ain't $60 no more, so you, of course he looked like he was the man, but he wouldn't be the man today. But they don't. Nobody takes that into consideration. They just say
It's the cost of.
my
telling you,
grandfather was the man. Like
the cost of living. That's what I'm trying to say. The cost of living.
I was already built.
Get your ass on.
A few moments later.
I want to be straightforward. Let y'all know we built it together. You know, we broke as hell, especially me. That was fast.
That was dope. Well done. That was crazy.
Who made that quick? Wow.
Shout out to Cheeky.
That's what I was gonna say.
OMG.
Speed and substance at a pair.
When I say I love being Black, because that is a part of Black excellence. Thank you,
Yeah,
Cheeky.
yeah, that was
Like,
art right there.
I mean, wow.
I just
we need now it's the brothers. Are you doing brothers whiskey, Mr. Aaron? I see you sipping.
No, it's a single malt scotch.
I just think with the money thing, we've never been realistic on here. Like, I think that been the biggest issue, the disconnect between everything. We thinking that the money is what gonna make us stay together or it's gonna break us. But just like we said, they was married more when they didn't have as much money as we did. So make sense.
So what do you
I always
think,
say this.
what's the value system then? Oh, we August, we know how you feel. UT, what do you think the value system is that's different from now to previous?
Well, I think the value was in the actual person. The woman, they trusted the man to do what he needed to do when he went to work. He made it where this household was good. So they trusted him to come back and continue to do it. But now it's, if you ain't, I seen August making 100,000. So UT, if you don't make that 100,000, I think we're gonna be having to talk about divorce next year or something. And that's how it's been doing. That's how it's been going.
I said the price of submission is too high. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I agree with
The
that. That's the price of submission.
The
price of submission is too high.
But that's the reason. But wait. That's the reason why we have. It's loud.
Mic loud.
Check.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it's better.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why it's important to have the couples up here. Have you experienced that from the woman you with, talking about the money is not enough or you have to make X amount of dollars? Is that the reality of your situation?
Submission is expensive.
August. Because you
what?
can get prescriptions. He's asking you is the things that you're saying is
Why you keep coming at me? Why we can't be friends?
No.
God damn, you keep taking shots. Like you gotta be quiet about it.
Look, let me say this: the Texas in me see the NOLA in you. So I'm asking you, NOLA.
Chuck said that shit lame, right, Chuck?
Chuck don't want to be with you.
I'm from the West Bank. I'm just playing.
I'm trying to. So once again, right? Because we understand it. I'm just asking: are we living it? Are we living the whole "you ain't making enough money" shit? Have you lived it? Have you been subject to that by your woman?
Anecdotally, no.
Like with me, I've never seen it before YouTube. I never seen that money thing before YouTube. So that's why when every time that I be talking to you and I be looking confused, I be like, I never seen this shit before YouTube, but when YouTube hit and I started to see women talking, that's all they were saying. I'm like, where did you get this from? I never seen it.
Well, so go ahead, James.
I said, I think it's the age of the woman too. So I got married at a younger age. So, you know what I mean? They weren't expecting you to make six figures because, you know what I mean? You're 22 years old, you know what I'm saying? So how the hell are you going to make that type of money? So, but if she's 30 and 40, then it's going to be a different conversation. So I think a lot of the ladies and a lot of the guys that, you know what I mean, that passed off of marriage when they was younger, then they got married later, they probably having this conversation. But a lot of us, since we got married at a younger age, probably won't have that conversation.
James, may I ask a question?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Statistically, what's the average salary for most Black men?
I think it's
$50,000.
Yeah, it's like close to 40, I guess.
And Black women marry other Black men at what, about a 95% rate? Is that about right?
Yeah, that's about right.
So regardless of what her education is, if he hits that 40 to 50K mark, she's not saying he's not a candidate for marriage. She's not opting out from marrying him. The stats absolutely align with, regardless of where her education and or income is, she is willing and probably desiring to be with a Black man. So
yeah, I would agree with the ones that want to get married. I think it's a lack of, like I was saying earlier, the lack of pushing marriage, and we don't make marriage look sexy or good to most people and stuff like that. So a lot of people not coaches like, why the hell I'm gonna get married and y'all telling me it's trash, it's terrible. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to be hugged up with your wife. You know, your wife ain't got shit good to say about you. So so what's the results of that? You know what I mean? Why I wouldn't want to be in a situation like that. It's kind of like moving into a burning house, a burning mansion, and thinking you're doing something. Nigga, that's still the motherfucker burned down, nigga. You better get out, you know, type shit. So
the reality of the go ahead before you forget. You want to say?
But I was going to say that a lot of women want to be married. I think it's the men out here that have the option, and they're the ones to be able to dictate. And it's like, hey, I have all these different women. Why settle for this when the next one also looks good? And the women are just like, hey, I want to get picked. So I think that's some of the struggles that's happening also.
Okay, so a couple of things.
Younger women, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ham.
Couple things, right? Saying you want to get picked and be behaving like you don't is gonna be the crux of the issue, right? So the rhetoric doesn't show that they want to get picked, right? Because the behavior has to match the verbiage. That's one, right? And then two, Tiff, we have to bring clarity, because when you're saying 93%, this, that, and the third, and etc., we also know we're married at 30%. So even when we're saying they're willing to do so, we know at the very least it's the minority of us willing to do it. Because if we're hinging it on the marriage statistic, we have to make sure we also acknowledge that we're only married at a 30% click.
I can agree.
You know, not to just totally dismiss what you're saying, but we just want to make sure that we provide the full context, like we often ask about the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
And I wanted to say something about the burnout thing, right? Because I think
hold on. I just want to make. Did you have?
Well, I was going to say something about the marriage part. It's to say that majority of the Black women that are being encountered are behaving in this manner for you not to want to be. It's just it's really asinine to be able to say that, because there are way more Black women that are acting the way that you want to act, and there's just so many of us trying to get picked, and you guys are still not picking the ones. And so it's just like, for this minority of women to be the ones that we keep talking about, when there is a great majority of the women that are, I'm like, where are you looking for these women? Are you like, there's tons of them out here. I know tons of them that are actually behaving well and would love to be able to get picked, but they're just not able to.
You got friends
what's wrong with Laura? What's wrong with these people?
You don't want to know that answer.
I'm glad she said it.
It could be preference, but it's not the mannerism. It's not any of the attitude. You could say other things, but now we're going into preference. Now we're going into all these other
tell
things.
you what it is.
We're going into all
Hey,
the.
what shape is she? What shape? No, don't say that. Don't say that.
See, look at why we're going into shape now. Why is that? Now you come at us with the 666.
No, that's the thing. She one of them, she smashed the wrong niggas because she could have been had a nigga if she ain't smashed the wrong niggas.
Niggas or one.
Yeah, so if you smash his man's, the one that would have kept you ain't gonna keep you.
Oh,
now,
you smashed one, but
listen to what I said closely.
but there's other options out there.
Listen to what it said, right? So now the number two, see, we always looking at health as an aesthetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But health or lack thereof shows a whole lot of other traits that are unbecoming. And then you want to have kids and etc. What's the next step?
But we're talking. Well, what is the list? Now we're going off on a different tangent. You said it is the behavior.
Desirability.
No, we're not desirable. That's not desire. We're not talking about desire. You guys are talking about attitude and things of that nature.
Desirability, yeah.
No, the attitude. You're saying that we're giving you attitude. We're not being submissive. We're not doing all of these things. But now we're not talking about that. Now we're talking about preference. Now we're talking about
the ones you named.
Well, some of it is we're talking about health. That's a preference. The way she is doing, or because she's bigger, things of that nature. That is now a preference. Now you're saying she's 6'6" and she doesn't have all the curves. That's going back to the women that you're saying is 6'6".
If I teach the second one a kick step, we can get her a Division II scholarship right now.
What?
Oh, she's a refrigerator. Okay.
You're talking about you guys get on
you
people.
Name people. I'm just going off what you name.
You start getting on the women talking about, oh, you want the 666 win or whatever the situation here, and then you're saying these women are undesirable because they're not being acting the way there is. But now we're adding a different thing into it. We're adding preferences and what we're looking like and things of that nature, which allows us not to be able to be.
Slow down, condense it. You said two names. So when you say two names, I'm responding directly to the names. You
about their behavior, not the preference.
You're saying, stop for a second. You're saying in terms of them not being picked. So those two specific examples, I'm just giving you the reasons why. I think the second one, who built like a linebacker, at least her disposition is pleasant. So I agree there. Like she doesn't have a poor, except she boring as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Preference.
You know, her face don't even move when she smiles. Ben Stein. But I was saying those ones specifically. Wow. But I'm saying the overarching thing is the behavior. But when you give specifics, I have to speak specifically. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Can I say this before I forget it, right? When your wife said that the women are great and I don't know why they ain't got men or whatever like that. What happens is, see, we don't understand what people do within the relationship. You see what you see through y'all friendship. So when me and my wife are at the house, she talk way different to me than she do with her friends, or she let stuff go by with her friends that she might not say to me. You know what I'm saying? That she won't let go with me. So you don't understand the dynamic when they actually in the relationship, when they've been having sex, because sex changes a lot of stuff that people don't want to understand. And the mindset of the two people in the relationship, you don't know how she come off to the men. You just know how she come off to you.
We can say that about the whole thing. We don't know exactly what happens in these relationships and things of that nature, because what can also happen is the opposite. What is the new one on TikTok? It's like, oh, I got cracked this way, so now I'm acting this way because of that. Like, it can also have the opposite effect. You're doing whatever is necessary for that person because sex is involved and submission comes and things of that nature. So we really can't say if we're now making specifics like that.
You can't emphatically say. But I think what the men are saying is,
what I was saying is that you're right about what you're saying. It might be the other way around too, right? But you don't know that because the relationship that you have with your friends is your friendship. It's not a intimacy. It's not that. So
there's
two different
agreed.
people you getting. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I agree.
So what Go ahead, James. My bad, because I started talking.
I was going to say, like, a lot of times, a lot of the ladies don't understand how strategic we are, especially like marriage-minded men. We very strategic. Like, I knew I wanted to have a lot of kids. I knew a woman over 200 wasn't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I had to get somebody like 120, 130 at a young age, so she could be about 160, 170, and then we'd be good. You know what I'm saying? After she had all the kids.
Baby weight, yeah.
Exactly. So we are very strategic like that. You know what I'm saying? So you see my wife, she had all my damn kids, you know, well, most of them. All right. So if we're gonna be in that situation, like what? I was married before, that's why I said that. So I had a previous marriage. I had one child with her, and then whatever. But you know what I mean? This is my second wife, so she had my other 4 kids. So I knew I had to, you know what I mean, it had to be set up a certain type of way. So we're very strategic in how we view women and what we want the future to be. If you don't fit in that paradigm, it's going to be hard for us to take you serious. So your friend, if she don't lose that weight, she's not gonna have the type of men that's gonna take her serious, because you're not taking yourself serious. Because if you was, you wouldn't look that way. They'll look something like yourself, and you'll be able to get your husband.
And I think a lot of women want us to overlook that, and we can't. And that's the issue. We can't overlook it because we looking.
UT, I just want a clarification. James, how much did you say she had to weigh, or she couldn't weigh more than?
She was like around 120, 130 when we got together.
No, but I'm saying, what's your max?
Oh, like 170.
So
Yeah.
Angel Reese, yay or nay?
Nah, she ugly to me, honestly. I'm very picky. Like, shit got a match. Like she looked like a beaver, a chipmunk, and a beaver put together. So the stuff got a match to me. That's why. And then she got long ass legs, and so I don't know, man. It don't look right to me. So stuff gotta look right. I'm very picky. I'm a very picky person. That's just me. Some people probably say she's cute. She ugly to me.
That he's very strategic. Oh.
Who did he say? Who?
Oh, Angel Reese.
Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's just his preference, right? I mean, I don't know what you wanted to say other than what he said.
The other thing is, on top of that, though, men and women go for different things with each other. Like, a man gonna have to have some kind of money. He can't be no bum on the street that, you know what I mean? Like, he gotta have something going for him to be able to even be selected. So with women, it's a visual thing for men. Like, you gotta, if you really want to get close to what it is that you want, then you're gonna have to show up the way that man want, the same way for him with you.
I think most of the time it's a status thing with women, like for like popularity of the man. I don't think it'd be the money, because like I didn't have
the
money.
clout.
And yeah, it's like the clout. It wasn't the money. You know what I'm saying? Even with my homeboy that was considered them guys, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have money. So it was like, that's why I was saying earlier, I didn't see it. I didn't see the money thing being a factor when we was doing what we was doing. So it was like, when did that change?
All right, let me say this to you. All right. So here's the thing, right? We talking about what we talking about. We talking about ideas, though, because when we look at our relative experience, it doesn't reflect it. We didn't have these demands put on us. You know what I mean? With the platitudes and all that. So that's why it's important to say, okay, who has a relationship? What did it look like for you? Because the propaganda is louder than the actuals. Mm-hmm. When I'm DJing weddings and all that, most people like a 4 like me. You know what I'm saying? They wife usually a little bit prettier than him. Like, you ever see 2 motherfuckers like, what the fuck they doing? Nah, they usually pretty close. You know what I mean? And people just be rocking and just living and figuring out how to pay for the wedding. One of I'm about to DJ. They say, Hamp, do you mind if I pay you a week from now? We got to finish paying the bartenders. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just, so I'm just looking at the actuals versus the conversation. And when it's actualized with us sitting right here, it don't reflect none of the shit, right? Aaron is obviously taller, right? Tony is tall, but we average height. Know what I'm saying? Like we said, we ain't really get asked about money, but it was the belief that, like my wife said, she knew that we would never be broke based on my attitude, and then that's what they hinged they bet on, whatever the case
Said
is.
work ethic, and that's a word.
No, I'm saying when she actually said it to me, you know what I'm saying?
But she said work ethic.
Tonight,
And
yeah.
10 times 10's 100 recommend 100, 1,000.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just looking at what we don't even reflect the conversations that we be having. So what does that say? I don't think we're the minority, is my point.
You don't think that what's the minority?
Like regular people dealing and having relationships and not being asked for $100,000.
Yeah, I think it's just on. That's why I hate the internet sometimes, because a lot of times people just be saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and I think that messed up our image of our ladies, our women, because growing up, we seen our mom, we loved our mom and stuff like that. Now, when these kids growing up having the internet and they seen all these little young girls saying all this stupid stuff, they're gonna have a different perspective of what women are and they trash and all that type of stuff. So I think that's what's kind of going on too as well with the internet and stuff. So
let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Let me ask you a question. You think the like what would you say the average man making, like average black man make about 48,000, 50,000 a year?
Yeah.
You think the average black woman would submit to that? Like submit to that man?
Yeah.
I would
If it
say no,
wasn't
because
for-
they're
if
not
it
being
wasn't for
taught
the
that.
internet. Oh, you
We're
asking
not
Jack,
being
my
in
bad.
households that teach that. I think it's more
I
of
agree.
a cultural. I think it's just
Yes.
a cultural thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
agree.
So when women get it and when we start teaching, and then a lot of ladies like, oh, okay, that's what you're talking about, right? Because I think since they didn't get in the household, a lot of men are going to have to teach them like, hey, no, this is what I need, this is what I want, right? Just like when the ladies are coming to us, it's like, hey, I want you to do this. We got to be more vocal and say, hey, no, this is not how you operate. Let me show you examples of what it is. This is what the type of woman I want. And if you can't be that, you know what I mean, it's going to be hard for us to have this relationship.
Here's the thing though, and I 100% agree with that. I think that it's a cultural thing. I think that when women enter these relationships, they have an expectation, like a Disney Channel type of expectation, as far as what this man is supposed to be, this idea, and a lot of times you got to play a father role because there was a lack thereof. So I think that there's a different what you making a face for, Miss T? What's up? You disagree with what I'm saying?
Let's not base Disney and fathers into it, because continue with your point.
What you mean by don't base Disney's and fathers? What you mean by that?
I'm interested. I'm following. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm 100%. Where you go?
I wanted to hear what you had to, because you look like you, and it's fine. I don't want to push you, but it looked like you were disagreeing with what it is I was saying. I wanted to.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Hey, I'm just before you go. I'm finna head out.
Wait,
Man.
buddy.
I gotta get up in the morning, man. I
be
enjoy
dog.
it, man.
UT, tell the missus.
Be safe. I'll see you in a couple weeks, bro.
Couple.
All right, I'll see
A
y'all
week
there.
and a half. Yes,
Not
sir.
a week and a half, a week.
A week.
Mhm.
Easy.
Bye. Have a good night.
He's saying that they don't know like what these things look like in terms of the relationship, in terms of the flow, the hierarchy, the organization of it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say they're not even doing it on purpose. They're not doing it on purpose.
It's not on purpose. Yes,
they just don't know. And that's
exactly.
why, like, even when I got with my wife, right, it was a lot of stuff I had to show her and teach her because she didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? So me coming in the household I was raised in, and then me coming out of a marriage and stuff like that, whatever, right? I already had some tools to that I can show her and I can tell her and stuff like that, to be able to help her become a better woman and stuff like that. So then now when she started like seeing examples of people on podcasts and stuff like that, and she was like, dang, I used to think that way. You know what I mean? Now she can better assist them and help them to get to a better place. So now that man can trust her, she can trust that man, and then now y'all have a fulfilled relationship.
But you want to know that's so.
Wait, so you were able to teach your second wife how to be a better woman for all women, or for you?
Both. Because if she be a better wife for me, most men are want the same similar things. right? I bet if I talk to Hemp, we're gonna agree on our top 10 or top 5 is gonna be mostly the same. It's probably gonna be 2 that's gonna be probably different, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we're not that, I wouldn't say creative. We're not that hard to please.
It's not a whole lot of nuance like people try to act like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a couple things that are nuanced, but most people average, you know what I mean? Everybody ain't so unique like we be trying to run around acting like, you know what I'm saying? We so eccentric and shit just because you don't wear socks outside don't make you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Motherfuckers start using black soap, then they think they, you know what I mean? Like,
so yeah,
I agree with what he's saying. A lot of it, because this is the first time that they've seen it. That's why I speak to just my demographic, because overarchingly, this is the first time they've been, you know, in a man's presence where they, you know, have to submit to a man. Submitting to your father, that's the first step. I was just talking to my brother about it the other day. I was in New Orleans dropping my kids off, and you know, I was chatting with my brother, and he has a daughter, and I was asking him, you know, how is it raising a daughter? You know, I got sons, so how is it raising a daughter? And he was like, it's different. You know, he's like, you know, just loving on her differently, you know, treating her differently. You know, I'm like, you know, you her first love. He said, man, she asked me if she can marry me. He's like, nah, baby, I can't marry you, but I will make sure your husband that you pick is a valuable one. I said, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You know, so this my generation, you know, me and my brother, we the ones that's in our children's lives the way we were supposed to be. Whereas like before that, it wasn't like that. So we're dealing with women that are coming from the same circumstances. It just show up differently. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta teach your wife.
And I was gonna say on the opposite end too, is even with the women that had fathers in their life, sometimes that man they get with
masculine.
Yeah, and that man is gonna that father's probably gonna have to show him how to change the tire because he didn't see that growing up. He didn't cut grass. He didn't, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that, so it's a, since we are broken community wise, whatever, and our culture is messed up, it's a lot of teaching is going to be having to have on both ends. And then now once we kind of get better, I'd rather you stay with somebody you messing with, and I can teach him or, you know, help him out, especially if he's listening. You know what I mean? That's the best person to teach, you know. So we gotta be able to, as men too, is get taught by other men to be better men, you know. So it's the same on both sides.
Marine Corps taught me how to be a man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's interesting, man, because I just wonder, because you ever watch Family Feud? And they be having 100 motherfuckers surveyed, and most time them top 5 answers be right on point. So then we assemble a panel and we saying, well, yeah, we heard the talking point, we heard the high value shit and all that, but we didn't get subject to it to that degree, you know, or if at all. You know what I mean? Now, not to say that women don't be having some unrealistic expectations. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I'm just wondering, like, how substantive are some of the conversations about 6-figure and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I think they just be talking, just like we talking. We be like, we want a slim girl with a slim waist and with a big ass and titties. There's no way that's gonna happen. It's like that, you know, it's rare. You know what I'm saying? So how she gonna have a slim waist and a big ass? You know, that don't match. You know what I'm saying? So it just talking just like how guys look. I remember I had a buddy of mine back in the day in the military. He said he loved light-skinned women, The only thing he was talking about light-skinned women. And then when his wife came, she was dark-skinned. I'm like, nigga, what the hell is wrong with you? It's like, what's your problem, bro? Like you saying all this light-skinned shit.
You know, the shows make us think I'm just thinking through it, right? I'm not throwing it all out. You know what I mean? But like the dating show, like the Kendra G shit, right? The people who are brave to come on a panel are emboldened people anyway, right? It's always hundreds of people in the chat. Yeah, 5 or 6 people on the panel. So it makes sense that we see the same types clicking the link.
Yeah.
But you got 1,000 people watching in the chat. You know what I mean? So I just wonder, like, how much does that allow us to really quantify accurately? Because we see hyperbole on YouTube or on social media, as you should, It's always sensational. That's what makes us click.
And I think it's easier to find your people and be in that area. I think at one point you had like passport bros on here, and then next you know it's flooded with passport bros, and then you start to think that a lot of the world is thinking that way because they found their clique or their people, which they don't get to do that in the real world because we're so spread apart. But on here, you're able to find your people. And then when you're in this bigger atmosphere, you think that that becomes the norm when that may not be the norm.
Yeah. August, what was you about to say?
I was saying, I think it's hyperbolic when you use that figure, but if we just think about it, our average women are not getting with the average man. So there has to be some number or something that has to be negotiated so that we can get the nuclear family back on track, because something is happening. It may not be the 6-figure, but I know that a lot of women, they want the best, you know what I'm saying? Or they may be holding out for that submission for the best, you know what I mean?
This one, right, August? Arnold with the $5 says 2 words, Mrs. Watson: market and efficiency. Have your friends seek the value where others are not looking. To your point, right, August? Essentially, like what the prescriptions something ain't aligning. You know, something's not aligning for sure. Arnold with the $5 says even if her income is lower than 50,000, she's gonna try to call shots in that house. That's the woman that get left in the 30th percentile. Hakeem with the $10 says, Mrs. DJ Hamp, please set the record straight and confirm or deny for the people if Hamp is breeding pit bulls, American bullies, and also I've been hearing a lot of Rottweilers now too. They say it looked like I breed pit bulls.
Right.
I guess I look like a pit bull.
Yeah, and then all his kids look like him, so I guess that's true.
Joe with the $10 says, is the price of admission too high, or is the price of admission too high? By admission, I mean access. Y'all got together when the interest rates were lower. What? Says for the 20 ball says the 2 for 20 for y'all. Green love on the black love. Good night. Perfect. Lex, we appreciate you. Take your old ass to sleep. Will was popping with the $10 says there's no going back to the 1940s for women. They moved on from that era for a reason. Now men and women have to work out relationship dynamics that fit how we live today. Dre with the $5 said the reason women is getting burned out is because they are working more. They can't do it by myself mentality. Let a strong back man help you, baby. Hey, yeah, well, the $5 says we take many of our popular gender roles today based on the cult of domesticity, which are instructions for upper class white women in the 1800s. Dre, salute.
What up, buzzin', bird, flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was. What up, buzzin', bird, flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was. What up, buzzin', bird, flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Look, my brother Dre gifting 3 memberships, man. Whoever got blessed with one, please maintain.
You keep talking, man.
Oh, wrong one.
Perfect.
Zoe was popping. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. And Zoe blessed us with 20.
Perfect. Shit like that.
What up, buzzin', flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute Zoe in the building for becoming a new member and then gifting 20 memberships, man. Whoever got blessed with one, please maintain it and say thank you. Zoe, we humbly appreciate it for sure.
Come on, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money. Bullshit. I see you shining, nigga. I can smell a motherfucker with money. Even Ray Charles can see you got money.
Joe with the 10 ounces. Last question was asked because out here in the single people land, at least online, women really be acting like their bills and the life they created becomes a man's job the second a man asks her on a date. And with the $2 question to the women, why are black women the most engaged? Are they? And with the $2 why are black women the most engaged but not married? Joel with the $5 says, so maybe they aren't looking for 6 foot men, but I guarantee you nobody's height preference is 5, starts at 5'6". Laughing but kinda serious. Yeah, I think there's a threshold on both ends for sure. You know what I'm saying? Curtis with the $10 says, with Kendra G and Ashley Dalton, they have thousands of interactions. They mostly the same. Our purview is smaller than hers by a large degree and has the same biases. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just every time we talk.
I don't watch. I don't watch. I'm sorry. I wouldn't try. I don't watch Kendra G's. And then
I'm just saying, every time we talk up here, right? When you talk to somebody who married, we never experiencing the issues, right? I think we got to do this again in terms of like digging a little bit down deeper into the things that we had to work through consistently, you know. I think this is the first one we did, right? So I just had to navigate it in a particular way, you know. But when we start talking about those, we really got to talk about it because everything ain't peaches and herbs, right? Shit ain't roses and bubbles. August talked about it before, how they went to different, you know, people to help support the system as you know they were creating it and shit like that, you know. So I think that goes a lot. I think we did a good job today. I think it'll go further too, right? And we just normalize how you say there's friction, ups, downs, right? You know what I mean? Navigating the system, you know, and doing it together, you know what I mean? I think is the best course of action for most people because marriage isn't the fear, divorce is the fear, and they're conflated. They're made to be mutually exclusive when they aren't. So Aaron and Mr. Fantastic and I had mine through that before, you know. So we'll do this again for sure, man. Damn. Man, any final thoughts?
Shit like that.
Well, I think this is something special that we're doing here, so I can't wait for the next one.
Indeed. Aaron. Perfect. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, marriage is to be set for himself, and a man's ceiling.
I wasn't gonna be the only stuttering person.
When you do go, you'll find you've gone.
Tiff, any final thoughts?
Shit like that.
I want to thank my husband for entertaining all of the things that I want to do, for supporting me, for acknowledging and appreciating the things that I find important and the things that I find value in. So thank you to my husband. I love you very much, and I hope you're having a peaceful sleep. And I will be up in the morning and make your breakfast as requested.
No doubt. No clicking for. She didn't say nothing too. I mean, it was all right. I mean,
That's so sweet.
You clicking and carrying on. It was decent. You know,
Hey, say something nice about me now.
When we get upstairs.
Oh yeah, motherfucker. That's that shit.
Any final thoughts?
Man, I wanted to say, man, for the people that's out there that's looking for a relationship that wants to be in a relationship, hey, make sure y'all give them grace and understanding like people are not going to know everything coming in and stuff like men or women, right? So we got to be able to work with each other, just like when you could get a new job. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know what's coming into all the things you got to learn, all the things you got to do. So make sure you giving that grace. I ain't saying let them do some crazy stuff, right? Like cheating and none of that, whatever, right? But make sure you coming in there knowing you got to work and knowing that person got to work too. Always look at yourself and try to fix yourself first before you trying to tell some all the time. You let them know, but make sure you're working on the stuff that they asking you to do as well. And then that'll help build that relationship and that trust with one another. And then y'all, you know what I mean, probably hopefully get married one day. So that's all I want to say.
Anybody else? Good.
I got a little something to say. I just want to say, you know, shout out to all the black people on the panel. You heard me. Shout out to DJ Hamp, and I'm gonna see y'all in DC. You dig?
Indeed.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
DC is it, man. I think there's some early birds. I'm not sure. I think they might be gone. I don't know. I gotta check. But yeah, man, make your way to DC for sure, man. Hold on, let me get this last one. Oh, can I read this one?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, man, good show, great show, man. I appreciate everybody for showing up for me. You know what I mean? Because I asked, everybody answered. I literally asked August in the back, pause, and he went and got wifey. You know what I'm saying? So salute, because this shit ain't easy, man. And there's so many people talking turkey on the internet about what they have and don't have and all that, weight and all that. Whole time, wife might, you know what I mean? So I'm proud of my brothers for being able to show up. You feel me? So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.